Good evening, everyone. We're going to call the December 18th council meeting to order. Madam Clerk, pledge, please.
Please stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Councilman Asbill.
Present.
Councilman Buddy.
Present.
Councilman Chatelain.
Present.
Councilman Johnston.
Present.
Councilman Ricks.
Present.
Mayor Baudier.
Present.
Police Chief LaPree. Fire Chief St. Cyr is absent. Finance Director Todd Turnion.
Present.
City Attorney Scott Stansberry.
Present.
Myself, Carrie Eustace, Clerk, is present. Mayor's announcements.
No announcements, Madam Clerk.
Okay, we have no special presentations. Approval of minutes. Reading of the minutes of the council meeting on November 20th, 2025.
Can I have a motion to approve those minutes? Motion by Councilman Chatelain. We'll open for public hearing. Anyone want to speak for or against those
Move to
minutes?
dispense with the reading of the
We have
minutes.
to dispense with the reading first, don't we?
Yeah, we're going to vote on it.
Oh, okay, I thought you said approval. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, we dispense with the reading of minutes. I'm sorry, you got me on that one. All right, no one coming forward. We're now closed. Public comment. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Buddy. All in favor to dispense with the reading of the minutes?
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
Approval of the minutes of the council meeting on November 20th,
It's going
2025.
so fast, I was trying to approve them already. We have a motion by Councilman Asbill to approve. We'll open for public hearing. Anyone want to speak for or against, please come to the podium. No one coming to the podium, we'll close public hearing. We have a second by Councilman Ricks. All in favor to approve?
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Madam Clerk, those minutes are approved.
Okay, communications, we have none. Resolutions, proposed resolution number 2025-18. The following resolution was offered by Councilman Chatelain, a resolution to enter into a cooperative endeavor agreement between the City of Harahan and the Parish of Jefferson for the fiscal years 2027 through 2029 to undertake essential community development and housing assistance within the City of Harahan jurisdiction.
All right, anyone want to speak on proposed resolution 2025-18, please come to the podium. No one coming forward, we'll close public hearing. Council discussion?
Yeah, I have some questions, but I can wait till somebody else goes first.
Yeah, so council.
Maybe just kind of explain it, probably answer most of my questions.
Yeah, so this is something we've done in the past. Last month I asked to defer it because I wanted to call the parish community development office and get some questions answered. I got those questions answered. My concerns were that if we opted into the parish's urban area program, we would then be forbidden from going and chasing small town CDBG funds from the the DOA at the state level and Office of Community Development. So I got those answers. They said that is right. The other questions I had is in the past, how much of those funds have actually been spent in Harahan? And they affirmed that it had been none, because we don't generally meet the income guidelines.
That's right.
For that.
Forgot about that.
And so, my proposal would be, one, that we either defer this again until January, because we have until February to opt out or opt in. That way, if you'd like to discuss and do some more research, we can do that. Or if the council is so inclined, is to just not pass this resolution and opt out of the urban area. That way we still have the opportunity to go chase small city CDBG money from the Office of Community Development at the state level. If we opt out, it's what and what, because we got zero before, and if we don't go get any money, we got zero now. So
What is the benefit to the citizens?
to opt in,
Yeah.
Hope Jefferson Parish gives us something.
No, what happens is Jason nailed it exactly right. You have to file, it's called LMI, low to moderate income status, and we've had a program actually come through here, and it was quite a large sum of money that we were going to redo Zerang Park with, and we're going to put water culverts underneath it. They needed a park that had a high traffic and a flooding area, and Zerang fitted exactly, and we met the criteria. We met the criteria at every level except LMI, and we couldn't eat LMI, so we couldn't. It's low to moderate income. We couldn't meet it, so we ended up not being able to get the funding for it.
however, small city CDBG money does not have low to moderate income requirements. And so we could go get some of that money on our own if we stayed and counted ourselves as a small city rather than part of the bigger urban area of Jefferson Parish.
And again, he's correct in that, because we did get CDBG grant money to help from Lift Station 8. We got not quite remember, it's a few $100,000 there. And then we also just got $200,000 from the Office of Community Development for the refurbish of those lift those panels for those things. We got the money.
Tim, Mayor, did we participate in this program last year?
Well, I don't believe we've ever participated in this program.
No, we have.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so this is a renewal.
But not last year.
guess-
We got these.
Well, I think those are different grants.
Right.
Than what the small city CDBG
So,
is, yeah.
so Jason, you did a great job. You answered most of my questions. My question was, how does this benefit the city? And it doesn't directly.
It doesn't.
If we signed this document, and do we qualify for any kind, do we have any understanding with the parish that if they get $1, we get 4 cents?
That's actually forbidden by HUD laws.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's, in the past, we've gotten 0 by participating, when we have participated. And if we don't participate, we have an opportunity to qualify under that
Small city.
Yeah,
Yes,
small
sir.
community. Yeah, that's exactly how I read the letter. So
Yeah.
my thoughts are on it, there's no benefit to signing this, that we might obtain some benefit by opting out and applying separately.
That's my, yeah.
So
That's my conclusion.
My
Opt out
suggestion would be
because
to
it stops the other funds, correct? If you get that.
If we
then-
get
then
this,
you-
if
then
we
you can't have
enter
the
into
funds
this,
with
we
it. We
cannot go
actually
after our
collect.
own funds.
Right, I would say no, yeah.
Council
The
Johnson?
last time we received, if I can remember correctly, Anne Marie Vanderway was the councilman in Jefferson Parish for us, and we received funding to do Oak Street. It was $250,000. So we don't get much money from it being a part of the parish. It's best for us. Now, I did opt in with the parish back when I was there. It didn't do us any good. So it's best for us to go out of our own and try to get the money ourselves. Because of the makeup of the city, we're not a poor city. We have wealth in the city. We have some areas that's like Oak Street met the criteria because Oak Street at the time was low-income people. You had apartments and you had stuff like that, but now it's developing, starting to build houses, and they have nice homes being built, $400,000 and $500,000 houses, so it might not meet the criteria now, and that's what the problem is with Harahan. But like the mayor said, he got some money for one of the lift stations. It might have met the criteria for that. So I think it's better for us to be on our own where we can look at stuff and go after it for ourselves and don't worry about the parish, because the parish is, and look, I'm not knocking the parish, but they'll throw us aside. I mean, I can remember we got the $100 million for Katrina for streets. And I got called into a meeting with the parish president, myself and John Schadinger, who was the mayor of West Wego, and they told us, look, y'all don't get none of that money. It all goes unincorporated Jefferson Parish. So we didn't get any of that money for streets. So sometimes it pays to be with the parish on some stuff, sometimes it doesn't. So I would vote against going with the parish on this. I think we ought to stay alone and try to get our own money. And we may not get any, but at least we're fighting for ourselves.
That's right.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so it's, rather than deferring tonight, I think we can just have a vote on it. I would move for the vote on the resolution.
Second.
Okay. We have a motion by Councilman Asbill, second by Councilman
Point of
Buddy.
clarification, a nay vote is voting against.
A nay vote is voting against entering into the
thank
CEA. Yes, sir.
Okay, all in favor? All opposed?
Nay.
Nay.
Madam Clerk, you have 5 nays, 0 yeas.
Proposed Resolution 2025-19. The following resolution was offered by Councilman Chatelain, a resolution of the City of Harahan committing to cover all design costs and construction costs and any change orders in excess of state funding for FP&C Project 50-MC1-21-01 for emergency sewer collection and treatment system overhaul. And this will be Phase 4 for the blower motors.
Is the blower motor portion,
I'm sorry, Phase 4 Wilson Street sewer line replacement.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, my new one. So what happens is the state wants us to come in and put this resolution in just for us to be under the understanding that if there are overruns or change orders, that it falls on the city's responsibility and does not qualify in the FP&C grant funding.
But this still goes towards our match.
It still goes towards the match, yes,
No,
sir.
there are some expenses built in to these projects that don't qualify. They're outside the state's limitations, but they're necessary. So if we've got a 25% match on something, we may actually end up contributing 28 or 30.
Yeah, no.
That's correct, that's correct.
Okay,
But some of this will possibly qualify
That is
for
correct.
some of the match.
yeah.
And Karen, I
would
am
think
right
so.
on that, I am right in what I'm saying, correct? That this is the state making us put this in place just to make sure that we're all aware that overruns and change orders will be our
Before
responsibility.
we can even bid
Can
it
I-
out. all of that. This is the
Yeah,
process.
this has to be in place.
Can I make
before
an
we go to-
exception more to the mayor's point? Line 17 says, if there is a cost overrun, it is not covered. Cost overruns that arise are not covered by the state. And it must be borne by the city. I don't know that they would count for a match. And in fact, at that point in time, you got a contract for X, you got state funding, you had city funding. Now, this is more money. This is a change order increasing.
So what we do is we just spend a lot of time before we dig into these projects to make sure there's no change orders.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, but I would like to, and I make this point on all of these, because they always say any change orders in excess, which scares the ever-living crap out of me, right? This doesn't actually budget funds for that, so we got to be careful in.
well, that's what I was getting ready to
Yeah.
kind of say, the same thing, is that, when we're in these projects, that definitely has to be council-approved funding.
Yeah,
For
Right.
any overages, not just,
Absolutely.
spend like.
And this is a
one.
measured 10, and we haven't come up with, we've come across an overage here or there, it might have been in the tune of, with a,
4,000.
yeah, 4,000, I think, was the only one that we've had so far.
But-
I mean, we're measuring 10 times to cut once.
But my point is that we have to have council approval
Yes.
on this funding spending,
Absolutely.
every time,
Every
on
time.
all these projects.
Noted, every time.
So, yeah, a change order should come through the council to allocate money to pay the change order. Just a general comment, this is underground work. And if you're ever going to have change orders that you cannot anticipate, it's underground work. Because when you start digging, you found things that weren't envisioned by the plans, and the contractor's going to get reimbursed for it at the end of the day.
We know.
There are justified change orders, and they amplify for underground work. And hopefully, we don't have any.
Yep. Well, we've gotten, from doing the first segment of Wilson Street, we got a really good understanding of what we're
Soils.
dealing with underneath there,
Right.
and what the surprises possibly can be.
Because that was an area where we had change orders.
Absolutely.
That were unanticipated, and no one could have anticipated it.
Absolutely. That Carlo Ferrera was right more than we could even imagine.
More times than one.
right. Okay. All right. Call for the vote. All in favor?
Yeah.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays, Madam Clerk.
Proposed Resolution 2025-20. The following resolution was offered by Councilman Chatelain. A resolution authorizing the City of Harahan Council to adopt the Jefferson United Mitigation Professionals 2025 Multi-Jurisdictional Program for Public Information Update, prepared with assistance from Adkin Realis USA Incorporated under contract RP-0465.
Okay, anyone want to speak on proposed resolution 2025-20? Please come to the podium. No one coming forward. We'll now close public hearing. Council discussion?
I would like, again, whether it's Jason or Eric or you, Mayor, to just walk us through what this is doing. I think I know, but I'm not 100% sure.
That's for the CRC ratings.
This is the discount,
This is, yeah,
this is the discount on FEMA flood insurance?
this is required to work through the CRS process to get that
CRS.
flood mitigation discount.
Okay. That's what I thought. Thank you.
Supposedly the big 35% discount Jefferson Parish gets.
Right, yeah. And I understand you've been working diligently to get that, and thank you for that. One other, just question on maybe a typo in here, because I'm not that familiar, but on line 16, it talks about will allow Jefferson Parish to maintain its CRS rating. I think our adoption of this Jefferson Parish plan would allow
Yeah.
Harahan to maintain it?
And improve upon.
Yeah, so should Jefferson be amended to Harahan?
It should.
Okay, well, okay, that's
Make an
my
amendment.
discussion, but I think,
we have to amend?
one of us should move to amend that.
Okay, so we have a motion by Councilman Buddy to amend line 16 of proposed resolution 2025-20, line 16, fixing word Jefferson Parish and changing it to Harahan. All in favor?
Yeah.
5 yeas, 0 nays. And now we'll vote on the proposed resolution. Do we want to open for public hearing as amended?
Yes.
We'll open for public hearing as amended. No one coming forward, we'll close public hearing. All in favor of proposed resolution 2025-20 as amended?
Yay.
Yeah.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Madam Clerk?
Do we have, Council Shalling, we're taking this on. Do you have somebody, is the regulatory department going to handle this? Are they going to be the ones that's going to, you have to go to school, you got to go to Washington DC? Because we did this during my administration. I had John Boudreaux going to it, and then I get Margaret Broussard went to Washington, and she was doing the schooling, and we had a rating of an 8 or 9. You got to get so many points to get there, and then I don't know where it got dropped. I don't know if it was under Tina Macella's administration or when, but we were part of this program before, and then all of a sudden we weren't, and we got to the Paris, and we got screwed at
Yeah, this is a
35%.
team effort with a committee we have put together.
Okay, you're
correct?
putting a committee together, but who's going to be in charge of this?
Foster.
Is the
Carrie,
regulatory director gonna
Mark,
be?
Foster. That's our
Who's
committee.
going to be the one that's going to be monitoring this as far as going through the classes and going to the school and going to,
I think we've,
So I think maybe the process has changed a little
they
bit.
changed
Yeah.
since?
Yeah.
Well, it's been
It's a lot of
15,
forms.
20 years.
Yeah, it's a lot of forms and
meetings.
applications.
Okay, I just,
So you have to have city employees and residents.
you have to have a, yeah.
okay.
And I'm not sure if y'all know the answer to it, but you may.
I just
Do we
drove.
need somebody certified in floodplain management to do this?
We're working on getting someone, we do, from what I understand.
We have at least one local resident who has not been involved in government. But I can reach out and see if that person would be, and who is certified.
He has a floodplain, yeah, really?
Yes, and I don't know if they'd be willing to volunteer their time, but I'm happy to get with you, Mayor, and we can reach out if it's necessary.
It is necessary?
I think
Well,
it
then
is.
I'll
I
be
think
happy
you
to
do have
talk
to
to
have
you
one.
offline, and we can reach out to
We
that
can add another
person.
community stakeholder to the committee.
Yeah, which would be beneficial.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what they do. It's an alien world to me, but I think this is the kind of stuff they
You
do.
have people on the committee, I agree with Tom, you need to get people that are qualified, that are just not a citizen. You need to get a person that's a citizen and has a degree. And you have people that work for the Corps of Engineers that live in the city that are knowledgeable in a lot of this stuff, too.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, you need to get
everyone's welcome.
somebody, just don't say, hey, Joe, you want to be on the board with this? You need to get somebody that's got some kind of degree or something.
Yeah,
So
well, everyone's
I
welcome.
know Foster's got a lot of knowledge, so I mean, I understand that.
So we got Foster and 2 at City Hall right now.
Okay.
And Carrie's kind of been, so 3 with 3 in City Hall,
I
Foster.
think we do need to have a certified floodplain
Yeah.
manager.
I know
you
we
got
do.
it.
We're working on it.
What,
We know.
the regulatory director, I mean, he's got a lot of certifications. He's
He
not
don't
going
have
to
a
be.
floodplain.
You don't have flood?
We're working on getting it now.
I mean, unfortunately, it's a totally different field.
Yeah. I thought
Then-
he's got so many certifications. But
Yeah.
Dr. Wade, do you have anything to add? You have anything to add? No? Okay, all right. Put you on the spot, sorry.
You need to start studying for that floodplain management.
You can't get out of it that easy, sir.
Yeah. Okay, Madam Clerk?
Okay, y'all gotta, vote.
We already did.
Very
Oh,
We
we
voted
did?
5
We
yeas,
did,
0
okay.
nays.
We were just still doing discussion afterwards.
Yeah, I started talking.
No, it's perfect. I love it.
Throwing me off. Proposed resolution 2025-21. The following resolution was offered by Councilman Chatelain. A resolution of the City Council of the City of Harahan, Louisiana, accepting the contract with Tomahawk Construction LLC for Lift Station 6 as being substantially complete.
Again, this is a requirement from FP&C for us to put in
Yes.
place.
So, yes, this is required, so I can file the letter that the engineer gave us saying that the job is substantially complete, and they did the inspection and everything passed. I have to file that with JeffNet, and JeffNet requires us to have this resolution.
Okay, anyone want to speak on proposed resolution 2025-21? Please come to the podium. No one coming forward. We'll close public hearing.
Okay, I'm sorry, go
Go
ahead.
ahead, Councilman.
I had some questions on, I'm trying to find my notes. One is, I've never heard the name Tomahawk Construction before. The council's had no input. I haven't seen any of the certifications in here. I hope they exist. But we've got an incomplete package. Again, a certificate of substantial completion is a big deal. So, do we have the documents that are referred in this ordinance? It talks about the engineer's certification that the project's go, or our project engineer. Who's our project engineer? The City of Harahan's project engineer.
Nate, Linda Hernfield, Jr.
The letter from the engineer should be attached to.
So there, our project engineer is used in this term.
On that project, yes, sir.
And he wrote a letter, so I'm assuming he would have.
And he
all the
wrote, and he wrote,
documentation.
and he wrote, I'm
Your letter
sorry,
should be on the back of,
I didn't see it. It may be there, and I apologize if I didn't see it. I have it.
you have it, it's stapled to,
I have it. I didn't see it.
I understand what you're saying. We don't have the document here, but we have the letter from the engineer, and I'm assuming he would have all of the documents.
Okay.
Because he's given us this.
I don't, yeah.
That we sent to the state.
It affects contractual rights also. So you got to be good with the contractor before you give him this. You know, open change orders and claims and all that stuff. So, but anyway, our engineer, our third-party engineer, acting as our project engineer, okay, thank you.
Engineer says right here, there
Appreciate-
were no outstanding punch list items identified needing attention. As such, we recommend acceptance of this project.
So this was, you asked earlier if there was a change order. This is where the change order took place. This is where we put we put the module in lift station 6 to where,
For the change order, this is for us to get a clear lead.
no, I'm just asking, he asked earlier, when we said, well, we had one change order. This is the one project. And what happened was they put a module in there that actually turns pump 1 on, then pump 2, then pump 3, then comes back to pump 1, pump 2, pump 3. Instead of just us almost, using just 1 and 2 and 3 as a spare, we're now alternating between all 3 pumps. And that's an electrical component that's kind of really new, and we're probably one of the first cities to even have that technology. That was your one change order project.
Okay, well, thank you for the clarification and pointing me out to my oversight.
Okay, on proposed resolution 2025-21, all in favor?
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Madam Clerk?
We're moving on to ordinances for approval. Proposed ordinance 2025-9. The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Asbill and seconded by Councilman Chatelain. An ordinance amending ordinance number 2018, the annual budget of revenues and expenditures for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2025 for the city of Harahan, Louisiana.
Okay, we'll open for public hearing. Anyone want to speak on proposed ordinance number 2025-9? Please come to the podium. No one coming forward. We'll now close public hearing. Council discussion.
Council, for 2025, I would propose, happy to talk through it, but I would propose that we adopt the budget as amended in column H of your budget sheet, and any previous amendments that we had made to the 2025 budget, which gives you a balanced budget.
So the section 3 alignments are in the budget here?
The section 3 may not be in the budget here, but it would still be a balanced budget. Yep.
So,
And let me ask, do you, section 3 is all of those, all of the amendments we made to the senior center last time, the senior center department last time. Okay, then they're in this.
they're in here
Yes, sir.
now? Okay, so,
Make sure, yeah, 117?
On the amended budget on H, where you come out with 99,01910,
Yes, sir.
you had the senior center budget at 40,289.
Then that's right, yep.
In K, we have them at 46,193. We agreed on 46,193. We talked about that last month. You took 92,000 away from them, and we agreed on 46,193, and we dropped it down to 40. Why? We agreed last month for 46.
Yeah, let me, let Todd think about that for a second, because I don't know the answer to that.
So prior to these proposed amendments, we had a deficit of 4,500?
No, a surplus, a surplus.
Oh, a surplus. Yes.
And then we added $4,500 for parade expense,
Yep,
so that brings you almost zero.
yep.
Yep.
So these Section 3 amendments that we have in the proposed ordinance, they affect this the 2025 budget as shown on this page?
In the ordinance itself, if you have that.
I'm trying to, so I'm looking at these lines on this budget And I don't see the changes here. I see zeros.
That's 20, was that 26?
Is this 20?
I'm not
Am I
sure
looking
which
at the right
column you're
one?
looking at, sir.
You're not seeing them?
This is 2025, 2026 original, 2025 amended. Am I losing my mind?
I don't know.
If you look
Quite
at the
possibly.
lines, if your line's 570, what I'm saying is line 570.
Oh,
is-
so the lines may have changed, because the
Okay.
lines may have been added.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, so that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying, they're not lining up.
So we
Gotcha, okay.
adjusted it.
Yeah.
Okay, okay,
Line, Excel sheet line numbers may have changed. Yep,
that must be what I'm looking at
Okay.
then, because these lines are zeros.
gotcha.
Okay.
But it brings the 2025 budget
0.
to 0 and imbalance.
Yes, sir.
No increase or decrease in surplus.
That's correct.
And these are all the things we
That's my
discussed.
understanding of it, right, Todd?
Yes.
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 These are all the things we discussed prior,
Yes.
all the
Yeah,
reductions.
so if we recall, Section 2 was the capital fund for the Royal Land Playground.
Right.
Section 3 was largely, Section 3 was all the reduction in senior center expenses
Right.
because we no longer run the senior center.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Todd, when I look at column K, and it's titled Amended 2025 Budget, as I go down to line 42, that looks like, in that column, it's a $103,000 surplus. That's after the amendment we previously approved for the senior center. So I'm curious, does this get us to do these take that $103,000 surplus shown in Schedule K to 0?
One second, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir. Well, maybe Section 3 of this is how we got to the 92,347 shown on line, I'm guessing here, but we show a reduction, a net reduction in the senior center budget on column J in the amount of 92,347, and I think we voted on that previously. Maybe these all add up to that?
What I think might need to happen, Mr. Bunny, is column H does not include these items from section 3.
Okay.
And so I think we need to,
So amend the surplus, it would be a surplus of 100,000? Or no?
no,
Okay.
no, it would change from 40 to 46. So
Where's,
the expenses in the senior center would be increased by about 6,000.
I see. I see.
And so we'd be a $1,000 deficit or
Okay.
some rounding number like that.
Gotcha.
so I'm still a little confused, Todd, and these numbers have a tendency to do that to me?
May I?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So the column H was projected to the end of the year that did not include it was projected expenses that did not include the cuts.
Right.
So,
For all of the cuts and precisely in these exact amounts.
right,
It was our estimates.
right.
Something
Right.
we do like payroll.
But is that not the same thing that's reflected in column J in total? The 92,000 adjustment that we had previously made on line 30.
So, yeah, so line 30, column H should read the same as line 30, column K. 46,123. Or 193, sorry. Correct? Is that what I'm hearing, Todd?
Yes.
Yes. So column H should be increased on line 30 should be increased to 46,193.
Well, I'm sorry, that's what it reads now, so
No, column H should read,
column H,
yes, sir.
Should read the same as K.
okay?
And then that would bring you,
Well, I mean, column H is the projection.
Right.
And column K is the final number. So the 46,193 is in column K, and that's what I'm assuming we would vote on tonight. It's
okay,
column K.
column K. Let's do
I'm
column
not,
K.
I'm a,
9.78, that's what we're voting on tonight? Are we voting on
I'm sorry, so what was
think
the
you're-
question?
instead we're voting on column K, that would be 9,780,000.
That column K, as I understand it, represents
Yeah,
the amended
I think that's correct.
2025,
I think that's correct.
2025 budget, as I
Yeah,
understand
my
it.
apologies. I confused everyone.
Yeah, definitely, that's what but that's good.
Okay.
Column K, I can vote on that.
And currently, it's reflected as a surplus of 103,122 as amended
And I think
previously in column J.
I think that's what's throwing me off, Todd, because I thought we were supposed to be even.
I think we voted on an amendment previously. Kerry, does that ring a bell? That we voted on amending the senior center budget by 92,000?
It's on, yeah.
Yes, yeah, okay. so-
Yeah, Mr. Buddy, and I think column K is the right line, right column we should be voting on, but I think the 103 number is throwing me off because my understanding was that we were going to be even
In
not-
25.
in 25.
I hope not, but I don't want you to be wrong, but I hope we've got a surplus.
Right, well, me too, but,
Well,
okay. Yeah,
Well, if we're going to vote on something tonight, we
Yeah,
need,
let's-
we need to try to figure it out.
yeah, let's take a, can we move, is there something else we can move on to?
I-
Is there another ordinance we can move on to that's not budget?
Now the next one.
If K is what we're going to vote on, I have no problem with voting for
But there may be a calculation error,
Yeah,
error.
Todd,
'cause we
I
don't
think
K
wants
should be
a
103.
second look.
Okay.
Yeah.
We
okay.
thought it was a lower number than that.
Okay, well, I know the last
You thought the
budget was
surplus was lower,
9.5,
sir?
and we amended it to 9.7.
I move for a
hope
10-minute
this is-
recess.
Right, I move, I mean, I
I have a
said,
motion by Councilman Asbill, second by Councilman Buddy for a 10-minute recess. We are at recess.
All right. So the column that we're voting on for the 2025 budget is column H. Okay, if the senior center total expenses need to be 46,000, then that would need to be amended to consider the adjustments to get that to 46,000.
So I move to amend,
okay, before we go on, just so I make sure we're on.
Yep.
My understanding is correct. What does
Column H.
column K represent?
K is the total of I and J. I is the original budget you approved a year ago, or that the council approved a year ago.
Okay.
J is the amendments that were previously approved that are in Section 3. So K, if you were to define, K is what the budget were to look like before
For these-
we make these amendments in
Okay,
H. But I think
I'm sorry, I have a question. We're
go
going
ahead.
to
Go ahead.
So summarize for me, the Section 3 amendments, what are they doing? 'Cause
Reducing the senior center budget for the salaries that did not occur, and then we adjusted the other expenses like janitorial and some other line items within the senior center.
Well, we've already adjusted senior center budget from 138 by 92 to 46. It's already been done.
Yes.
correct. So
So
that's,
is any of this duplication?
so the first amendment needs to just adopt that 46 number into line 30, column H.
Yeah.
And once you do that, then your column H will be negative 1,500, of which we can adjust sales tax or some other revenue line item up because we've gotten more numbers.
It is still 40. We've already amended the 25 budget downward for the senior center by a total of 92,000. it now stands at 46,
Yes,
193.
yes.
And so what do we want it to end up at? What's the purpose?
46, 193 is where we want it to end up
Already
at.
is that. We've already amended,
But it's not reflected in column H, which is the column we need to vote
The-
on tonight.
Yeah, the vote is on column H.
okay, well,
Column K, let me try. Column K does not reflect any actuals or projections through the end of the year. Column K was the original budget plus particular budget amendments that we've already made throughout the year.
okay, so, all right.
What we're voting
Okay,
on
I
is
think I'm
H.
getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah, what we're voting on is H.
So the net, but we brought down column H. We should have brought it down, the senior center, to, what am I looking at? 40,289.
289. Yes, sir.
That's what reflected before these journal entries were.
40,289 was not something the council adopted. That was a projection through the end of the year.
Right, but we're saying we're going to vote on this total projected column as the 2025 amended budget, correct?
Well,
With-
after,
with a
I'm going to
modification.
amend to slide that 46 over, and I'm also going to amend to slide additional revenue into sales tax.
For 2025.
Yes, sir.
So this doesn't reflect the accrual or something for sales tax?
No, in column H, there's a net surplus projected of 4,506 at the bottom, Mr. Buddy.
Correct?
When we increase senior center by 6,000,
Can,
then
yeah.
there'll be a loss of about 1,500 or 1,800, and we'll adjust sales tax revenue up.
Because collections have been higher than what was
Yes.
projected.
For 25.
Yes, only by 1,800 or,
But I mean, we don't know well, of course, we don't know what 25 is. gonna be.
No.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm kind of following that, but what is the net? The net of this items in section 3 are 11, 12, it nets to $16,000 of quote reductions. We're not talking, nowhere have anybody mentioned that we're changing something by 16,000.
I don't see 16,000,
Well,
Mr.
I'm looking
Buddy.
at, I'm reading line 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. They all say reduced.
Yeah, I think that, these total up to 92,347.
Reduced from 2.
Right.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
But we've already made a 90.
Right, we've already adopted
Yes.
section 3.
Yes.
Okay, that's what's got me confused.
Okay,
Yeah, we
I see.
adopted section.
We adopted section 3.
Okay.
We're going to reflect that in column H on line
H.
30.
Right. Reflection
we already
of-
adopted
of-
that too.
The reflection of the budget paper is this.
So we're not voting on
No, we've already
section
done
3?
that.
No.
No.
Okay, all right.
H is
Thank
the
you.
reflection of this.
Thank you.
So I would move to amend line 30, column H, to read 46193. And I'd like to take these amendments line by line so that we can make sure we're tracking clearly.
Yep.
Okay, can we go through all amendments in globo, or you want?
No, I want to do them line by line.
Okay.
It's only 3 of them.
Okay.
Yep.
So we have a motion by Councilman Asbill to amend line 30 to read 46193. We have to open for public hearing,
Wait, in column,
column H.
Column H.
Line 30.
yeah, 46193.
Anyone come in for public hearing, and I'll close public hearing. Can I have a second? Second. Second by Councilman Chatelain. All in favor?
Yeah.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Madam Clerk, please note the amendment.
I would amend, where's is it general government or non-department?
Yeah, no, I'm coming. Transfer in from sales tax is line 70. H.
I would amend line 70, column H,
Where's that, what page?
Page 2.
page 2.
Page Line 7 on the first page.
Line 70 on the
Line
second
70.
page.
Page 2, line 70,
70.
column H,
To read?
to read,
Column H.
give me math.
Yeah. I'm
Two
working on it.
million,
Give me, I'm-
2,791,340. That's an upward adjustment of $2,000.
Okay, we have a
that
motion by
enough?
Councilman Asbill to
Yeah,
amend
but I was
line
gonna give you the
70,
exact
column
amount.
H.
Oh,
to
okay.
$2,000,000.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, he's going to give me an exact
give me
amount.
half a minute just to get the exact amount.
1398 is the difference.
Okay. He's going to give me an exact amount, which is more.
I agree with
Okay.
Councilman Johnston. 1398.
Okay.
So that sales tax number in H70 needs to increase by 1,398.
Move to amend line 70, column H, to increase by $1,398.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilman Asbill to increase line 70, column H by
$1,398.
$1,398. We're
We-
now for public hearing on the amendment. Now
We
we're coming
also-
forward. Now
Do
we'll
we
close
have
the
three
public
more,
hearing.
two more?
We want to take them one at a time.
One at a time.
Okay.
One at a
Okay.
time.
We have a second by Councilman Ricks. All in favor for the amendment?
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Madam Clerk, please note the amendment.
We also need to, since we're increasing the transfer in from the sales tax fund, we need to increase the revenues in the sales tax fund and the transfer out from that
Yeah.
fund.
I would just,
So it's
can we
a
just,
zero impact.
can we just administratively note that we're going to make the
Corresponding
corresponding entry?
on the sales tax fund.
We're going to do that, yep.
Yeah, done.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, and thirdly,
That's it. Move to approve. It's 0. Yeah,
Yeah, it's going to make it zero.
it's going to make it 0, but that's not something, it is what it is. It's
Yeah.
not something we have to vote on.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah,
I would move to adopt column H as our amended budget for 2025.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilman Chatelain to adopt column H as amended, right, correct? And we'll open the public hearing. No one coming forth, we'll close public hearing. And your second? Second by Councilman Chatelain. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
You
Madam
give the
Clerk?
total as amended, so we make sure we got our numbers correct. Todd,
yes.
on
Total.
H, on H.
Total expenses,
Yeah, the budget, yeah. Make sure we got our additions right.
give me 1 second. So the total expenses would be 9,907,814.
9907.
9,907,814.
Thank you.
You know what you want, you just.
Oh, I see it. I see it. Okay.
All right, Madam Clerk, approve ordinance number 2025-16.
That's also the total revenues. So that's, it's going to zero out.
Madam Clerk, 2025-16.
Proposed ordinance number 2025-16. The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Ricks and seconded by Councilman Asbill. An ordinance amending ordinance number 1923 to reduce the setback requirement from 45 feet to 40 feet and to otherwise provide with respect thereto.
I'm sorry. I said I was confused. Did we vote on this budget?
We did.
I voted yay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I want to make sure, because I said I'm confused, but, yeah.
Oh, you were confused after the vote.
Yeah, okay. I did vote yay.
You want me to recall your vote?
No. I just, when I looked at my number, I was, but.
Anyone want to speak on proposed ordinance number 2025-16, please come to the podium. No one coming forward. We'll now close public hearing. Council discussion. Oh, we got one. Come on. Come on. Come on, please.
We're actually going to be voting on this tonight. But this is about the setbacks along Colonial Club Drive from changing it from 45 to 40 for lots 14 through 27. Lots 1 through 13 are at 40 feet, and for some reason, they changed it to 45 feet. There are 14 lots in the 14 through 27. 3 of them built, 4 of them have been built on, and 3 of them are currently under construction. And the remaining 7 lots that are empty currently have live oak trees on the back portion of the lot or on the property line in the back, and which means the drip lines or where the root systems are comes into the yards of those lots. And speaking from experience, for the last 2.5 years, I've been working on the trees behind my house with arborists to try to rejuvenate them after all of the construction and everything. So I would propose that y'all accept this, adopt this as moving from 45 to 40 in order to provide the maximum protections for all of those trees, because it's on 6 of the 7 remaining lots.
Your house is the second to last house with a 40-foot setback.
No, mine's the last house.
The last house with a 40-foot setback.
Right. So,
And
That-
you're having problems with your trees in the back, and you're 5 feet further forward than the house next to you would be allowed to.
right, but I have a larger canopy coming across and everything. So anything, I've been working with arborists on this for 2.5 years. So anything that you can do to move it further away from the drip line or inside the drip line, but because you can do some mitigations, but the better off those trees have of survival in the long term. And, if you use AI and look at all this, it supports all of this tremendously, because it says that even the root system goes beyond the visible canopy. But the biggest thing here is actually killing parts of the tree or the entire tree, but also destabilizing the tree. So in the event of high winds or anything, it's more likely to blow over. And so anything that we can do to try to improve the health of these trees, I'm 100% for it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Foster.
Close
All right,
public hearing.
now we'll close public hearing, council discussion.
I only have one question. Has this gone to planning and zoning board?
So I think that was an oversight. I think it has to go to planning and zoning because it was originally,
But it hasn't?
it has not.
Because normally we see this with minutes from planning and zoning approving them concurrently or recommending.
Yeah. So anticipating that issue, I went ahead and put it on planning and zoning's agenda for January 6th, 7th? 6th, 7th? Yeah, no, nobody else? Okay. I went ahead and put it on January 7th agenda. So I'm in favor of it, but I think we need to let it go to planning and zoning so that we don't get dinged on it later
Yeah.
and
I
do
agree.
this in January.
That's fine by me.
My sentiment's exactly, I'm not opposed, I'm in favor of it.
I'm not,
But I think we need to have planning and zoning approval.
I'm not in a rush, but the one thing I do want to ask while we're having that conversation is, do we have protections in place for the live oak trees on that entire property at all?
No, it's like an act of Congress, though, to get like actual protection. It's like literally an act of Congress to
And the
get actual
landowners-
protection.
The landowners had to
Ma'am?
ask for it.
Ma'am,
So I would say the majority of the city setbacks 20 feet on the front of their property. So even at 40, you're still
Oh,
double
yeah.
a normal
It's
setback.
it's a big setback.
Well, initially, I mean, when I first got involved with this, it was supposed to be a fence line, and there was supposed to be no houses. Then we agreed to the houses, trying to make some, concessions for the property
Compromise.
owners and compromise. But, and again, I was doing this to kind of provide some additional building space on the front, and then Foster brought this up, so that in turn, I was just curious to know if we have any protections, because, losing the canopies of those oak trees is pretty important. Yes, sir.
move to reopen the public hearing.
Yes.
Okay, we'll reopen public hearing?
Come on up.
Why not?
Ms. LaGreco, now's your time to come back up if you want to say something.
I forgot to say this before, Dr. Foster Wade, 146 Colonial Club Drive. There are some protections about where the tree is located on the lot. There's protections that if it is outside of the buildable area, then they must get permission to cut down a tree. But if it's within the buildable area, then the homeowner has the authority to actually cut down a tree in that section. So for us on Colonial Club Drive, it's the 40 feet in the front or 45, plus the 15 feet between the front and the street, and then a 20-foot in the rear setback is there. So,
That's a covenant from the developer, is that?
no, that is, I think, in the city
Gotcha,
and
okay.
everything, that you cannot cut down a tree. You need a permit or something within the city if it's outside of the buildable area.
But even if it's outside the buildable area, you're damaging the roots and everything else.
That
tree's not gonna make it.
hasn't
Right.
been addressed. I mean, I've been doing this all my life, and I just learned about it 2.5 years ago about how much the damage can be to a tree within the canopy of the thing. And like I said, I learned the hard way.
Foster,
Danny's a big.
did I understand you correctly that if you own a lot in Harahan and your tree is outside the footprint of the structure,
Right.
you need a permit?
That's my understanding.
Because I think that would probably be the first permit issued in Harahan for that.
This is what was
I've never
told
heard
to
of that.
me.
It may be correct.
When I was looking at, because I had on my lot, I had some trees in the front along, but it was in the servitude area instead of in my actual lot. And so I had to go to the parish and they said, cut down whatever you want.
That was outside of Harahan?
Yeah, parish.
It was our parish service.
Because it's on the servitude.
Yes, thank you.
Our servitude is the parish
On Colonial.
on Colonial. And so I had to go to them, and they just said, "You've
That's
got
interesting
permission."
too, because normally servitudes are for utilities, not for growing trees. Their grant
Yeah.
probably
but-
doesn't say a word about trees, but sometimes it's just easier not to fight City Hall.
But I was told here that I needed to talk to the parish about it, and so I
You
did.
did, it's the right thing to do. It's parish right away.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Tell you a little story. When I was on Jefferson Parish Council, they cut a tree down in Old Metairie. Old Metairie is real strict with cutting trees. This Oriental lady, cut a tree down in Cynthia Lee Chang's district. And she planted the tree 15 years ago. She cut it down on the parish servitude. They fined her $10,000 because she didn't get a permit.
I think
So
we're
the
gonna
parish is very strict on cutting trees down in servitudes.
I think I'm gonna go after Foster for that one he just talking about.
That's why I
See if we
say you
can
did
take
right by calling the parish up. They gave you permission, that's good. If they wouldn't have gave you permission, somebody could have done something. They probably wouldn't have, because those trees in front of y'all are pretty.
Hello, everybody. Merry Christmas. Carol Barker, LaGreco, 101 West Imperial Drive, Harahan. As the mayor and I had discussed at a previous council meeting, I am willing to work with Jefferson the Beautiful on the canopy program, in which we can find out what local, parish, state and federal regulations there are accordingly, and put together a program, and then notify all the residents of what the rules, regulations, and the programs that are out there available to people, because there's beautification programs, there's the canopy program, things like that. And if we combine it all into one, where people have access to the information, we put it on the city website, that way people know what they can and cannot do. It would be, very appropriate. I think it would make it a lot easier. And then also talking about deed restrictions and things like that, because people can put deed restrictions in to keep people from cutting, certain trees down when they're centennial oak trees and things like that, which we've had some issues of developers coming in and cutting down trees that are more than 100 years old. that should be protected. So I offer, my, abilities to work with whomever, if you want to get that information and connect me with everybody, I'm more than happy to do that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carol. Yeah, so we're going to wait till.
Move to defer?
Yeah,
So
move to defer.
Councilman Riggs?
Councilman Riggs has a motion to defer, second by Councilman Chatelain. All in favor to defer?
Yay.
Yeah.
5 yeas. We can have Madam Clerk, 2025-16 deferred.
Okay, proposed ordinance number 2025-17. The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Chatelain and seconded by Councilman, who would like that one?
Second.
As-bill, an ordinance amending ordinance number 2018, the annual budget of revenues and expenditures. What? For fiscal year ending December 31st, 2025, for the capital fund of the city of Harahan, Louisiana, for Shannon Lane area drainage study. You can defer it until we make a new one.
We already did the budget, it's too late for that.
Yeah.
We ain't got no money. Zero. I'm just kidding, I don't know, yeah. Go ahead.
So do we want to defer to?
This is y'all's deal.
This is 2025.
You're going 2025.
We don't have 2026 yet.
It's going to change the whole budget.
It's funding out of
Capital.
capital?
No, I don't think that changes the
It's going to
budget.
change the capital.
It's changed
The
capital.
capital,
Yeah.
balance in capital.
Yep.
Right.
This
But
is
we haven't
the
voted on
drainage.
it. We haven't voted on a capital fund budget for '25 yet, correct? We just voted on the,
Oh, no, I mean, we voted on the whole budget.
The whole budget, so the
Right.
capital would be in there.
okay.
But this would amend it.
Wait until next year? Is it a rush? Wait until January?
It's not a rush. We can put it in the 26 budget.
Put it
I
next
mean,
year?
we're gonna adopt 26 budget tonight, hopefully, so we can just put it in 26 budget.
No, and what happens,
No.
so what this is for is, this is for me to put a study in, to be able to go to Baton Rouge with the study in hand to get the funding to actually do the engineering and drainage. Using Halsey as an example, we did the study with T. Baker, and we were able to go to Baton Rouge and get $1 million to put into the drainage. Now, so far, we have got, I believe we did about, it was about 88,000, I'm rounding numbers here, and we were able to go get $1 million to put the street, the Raleigh Street. So we've just met with FP&C, the engineering part of that has been funded, and once the engineering is complete, then they will move the construction from P4 to P1, and then we'll get the construction underway.
So basically, that's for the
That's for
Halsey Nimitz area,
We're
that back section.
trying to do the same thing for the East Shannon, West Shannon
East
area.
Shannon, West
Yeah, he
Shannon.
said
That
they
only
have
has
no
two drains for the whole neighborhood, and
They
they
have,
run
like, no
lateral.
drainage.
They don't even run
Right,
to the highway.
same thing they got over there.
It's the
So,
same-
we've been approved for the study?
For Nimitz, I'm doing the same, we're trying to follow the same model we did with the Nimitz study, because Nimitz, Nimitz and Halsey's here, and East Shannon, West Shannon's here. It's two little neighborhoods that are right on the other side of Colonial,
I understand.
right?
But are we approved for this money?
Not this one yet. I'm trying to get the study put in place to be able to get the funding to do the grant, to do the engineering and the construction.
So I guess my question is, if this is in the 26 budget, is it going to be covered in your grant?
Well, I just got to have it approved by February, because I go to Baton Rouge in March. I got it in my hand.
You follow what I'm saying?
Right.
Is this an out-of-pocket expense, or is this
It
something?
will come out of capital.
Yeah.
We
This is
have
out of
money in
our-
capital.
We're not getting it back. Yeah,
Okay.
That's what I'm asking.
we're not getting
So
it back.
this 100,000,
It's spent, no.
Seed money?
It's going to do the study
That's right.
to see if they'll fund it.
and if they won't,
Then we lose $100,000.
Till we use the 100,000, or we figure another way to fund it.
Well,
The drainage
I mean-
has to happen.
yeah.
It does
we
have
know-
to
We know what
happen. I
needs
agree.
to happen at that point in
But we
time.
need to get the
So
engineering
studies-
and the
I
study
thought
done.
this number was 80,000
That was
initially.
Nimitz and Halsey. This is a little bit
This is a
bigger.
little different project.
Yes,
Okay.
So,
and we do have an estimate in there.
I mean, I appreciate that this study won't go to waste. We need to know those answers
Yeah.
eventually, and
But we could push this to January.
You can.
No, we can just add it into we can add it into the budget sheet for tonight,
Okay.
Well, let's add it. I mean, it needs to be done,
right? Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
We can add it, and it needs to get done.
Well, while we're discussing this, and not as to this particular proposed ordinance, but we've done a couple of studies, or we're proposing a second study for these areas north of the highway, which obviously have drainage issues that need to be addressed. Mayor, have you ever discussed or considered doing a study for that Sedgefield area south of the highway that has
So
drainage? It's just-
Sedgefield, McHugh.
Yeah,
that
I mean,
area.
it's inadequate.
So we know, Kelly, over the years' time, we have filmed all of Sedgefield, OK, McHugh, Donlin. We have all of that film footage,
Right.
And the truth is, Council Buddy, it would probably cost, I don't even know, millions and millions and millions, because we know how to fix it, but we have to start cutting every street up. And what happens is just because as that neighborhood developed, the drainage was kind of added, so it's kind of hodgepodge.
Yeah, hodgepodge.
And so it kind of, it all flows out right behind the Larcella house. It comes
I
in that big
agree.
drain back there.
I agree with you,
We
Mr.
don't need
Bundy.
a study, we need the money to fix it.
Well,
I think we need a
mean-
study so we can figure out exactly what the dollar amount will be.
And,
I think that could be a
and,
prize.
I mean, and I appreciate Kelly's got a lot of real-world experience and knowledge, but, I mean, what engineers do is figure out the
It's a-
most efficient way to do something. They may have a different idea.
It's a simple fix.
So I think at the beginning of next year, we can put something together and work on that stuff.
It's just,
Well-
we just know we gotta bring all of that drainage to the highway.
And we, some of that water pools on Brighton too, which is the parish's drain line.
Yeah.
Which if we had a study indicating the parish's drain line from Brighton to the highway, to the ditch, was inadequate, we'd have an argument for the parish to correct that, because that water gets to that large collection rate on Brighton
You are correct.
by street runoff. If it could drain across the highway quick enough, it would alleviate some of the problem. Right now, it builds up there because it can't get to the highway quick enough. And that's a parish, I think, responsibility, that one. Well, conversation for another night.
Thank you.
I appreciate.
I do have a question on the ordinance. How did we come to select Ames?
We just went and shopped it out and picked an engineering company to come through. I mean, we can shop it however you want, bid it out, go through it, but Ames was working with me on a project, and I asked them, come take a look, because we're not bound by what engineer we choose.
Right.
We choose our own engineers. That doesn't follow.
I just feel like,
Do we have hired engineers to do any work for us anymore? Are they the city engineer?
we're trying to figure that
Myers
out.
actually building the fire station right now. Myers
Well-
is still the city engineer.
But he
Well, wait.
hasn't had a response from them since September.
They're one of the city engineers, but they don't have a title.
They have a title as city
They are
engineer.
city engineer.
Yes, sir.
Well, I think, my personal opinion is we should shop this out with multiple engineering firms who can do this. So, because I'm not bound to somebody to just pick.
In the past, some
I've
team
never
and
done
stuff.
work, but this is the first time I've ever worked with them. That was an
I mean, we'd have to write a request for proposal.
I think we should.
Yeah, I
we should
think
do
we
this
should
every
too,
time.
because
I
we
mean, the
ought to have a
engineering
clear
cost is
understanding of what
absolutely
we're asking
ridiculous.
for.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about 100,000 bucks like it's candy. I mean, I think we need to get
So-
this done properly.
Let's do it.
Man, just go back. I got a little history in Harry. I don't know if you know it or not. But years ago,
Were
we
you
did a
mayor?
study.
Were you mayor at one point?
We went to Baton Rouge with a study to do drainage work underneath Jefferson Highway. It was a $2.5 million project to enlarge the drains under the highway to help flow the water from the riverside. And it was the Larcella ditch, which just runs underneath the street in front of the shopping center. The drainage underneath the highway is small. And we did, we tried to get $2.5 million. At the time, we had a blockage because we love him. The gentleman from the West Bank got all the money in the West Bank, but now he's not there. But we didn't get the money we needed. We did some studies to try and get money. We got a few dollars from the state, from West Magnolia. We did one at Penfold, a few other cities, but we didn't get the big one for $2.5 million. We know that that's the problem, the Larcella ditch. Now, that was back in probably 2005, 2006. I can imagine what it's going to cost now to do the work. That was $2.5 million for the project then. Also, you got to remember this, man. When I was on Jefferson Parish Council, we went and cleaned the ditch underneath Jefferson Highway by Colonial Club. When we went in there, it was 90% blocked. you need to call Dino up and ask him if he'll go there and look at it again. It's been 6, 7 years since we cleaned that ditch. They had stuff in there, they had a cart, a
Shopping
basket-
cart.
a basket cart at the grocery store in there. They had mud, it was 90% blocked, and they went over and worked. So it may be worth a call to call the parish, ask if they would send their crew over there, and if they would clean the ditch underneath. And also the Woodward ditch that runs behind the houses on Erin Court. They got to clean them. Those ditches need to be cleaned, because they get blocked over the years. We did it when I was on the council. We cleaned Orchard, we cleaned a whole bunch of crossovers. But, and also they might want to check the Lauricella ditch, because that gets blockages from the water flowing over.
And so I have a question for you about the study. So if they did a $2.5 million study, where,
We asked for it.
oh, you asked for it?
Yeah,
They
that's-
did the
that's-
study, it was
that's-
$2.5 million.
That was
Construction, Paul, or was
engineer.
it for study?
That was, we did the study. and
We did the
We
study.
did it, and we went up to Baton Rouge to get $2.5 million.
My
So the
question is,
study may
if you
exist.
did the study, where's the study?
Well, it would be my engineering.
Sir?
Maybe we
And that
can
was-
update
Now,
the
the
status.
study he's having is not what I'm considering.
Right.
I understand that, but I'm saying if we're
Yeah.
gonna look at studies, if we have studies that we've paid for in the past, why are we paying again? Well, no,
That was 20 years ago.
Right, I'm saying,
That was 20 years ago.
I'm saying, if there were, it doesn't matter,
He's
I'm
working
saying,
south
The
side.
size of the pipe hadn't changed.
I understand,
You know,
but I'm saying,
Physical
like,
demand, might be blocked.
if
that's
he's got the
inspection.
knowledge
I'm
of
just
this,
saying.
I'm sure it's easier to update a study that's been done than to go buy a whole new study.
For the Lauricella ditch, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I had a conversation once with Mayor Moscow, who was not the mayor at the time, but he indicated that, I guess during his term, the Corps of Engineers came in and did some extensive studies of Harahan drainage. And he thought those studies might be available. I don't know where they would be.
Well, I think we need to
But they'd be
contact-
very valuable because, again, if you're measuring underground pipe, it doesn't change
Right.
until you dig it up and change it.
I mean, look, to me, the cost of these studies is
Very high.
astronomical. I mean, I think
agree.
that if there's something available and it takes a phone call and a few persons digging for it, I think we need to try and start
When you look for the
routing.
Lauricella ditch project, call Meyer. He's probably got, probably 18 years, probably in the between 2005 and 2010.
Yeah, he was
He did the study, he was our engineer.
the engineer back then. Hopefully he's got the
He's
right.
probably still got the study.
Yeah. Okay.
So, Mayor, are you comfortable with deferring this?
I would,
Or is it-
Said, let's vote on it, that way it's not
I
holding
would,
them up.
I would approve it with multiple bids on this. That's what I would say.
Yeah, because all we're doing now is approving the allocation of money. And I believe my understanding is the council has no direct say over
of the contract.
the bidding process that the mayor uses.
But I think
But,
that,
you know, I would recommend, I would vote for this tonight and recommend that the mayor go out for competitive proposals.
My preference would be to table this ordinance, which effectively kills it, because I don't want to approve a vendor, but then to then add it into our budget sheet as a line item of $100,000 or whatever the number is to the capital projects fund, and let the mayor do the selection process, knowing that we would prefer that it be shopped around. Whether he does it or not, I don't think we have any control over, but that would be my preference, rather than approving the actual.
so-
'Cause I think if we approve the ordinance, we approve the vendor and a
Does this tie
contract.
us
and all
into
that.
a vendor?
Sir?
Does this tie us into a vendor?
Well, it's got a vendor
name in it.
attached, it's got Ames Group attached to it,
Ah,
and their specific bid.
Ah.
Yeah.
well, we could approve it without that attachment.
Yeah, but I mean, it will also just be cleaner if we just put the number in the budget sheet.
Okay. From a timing perspective in getting the grant you're chasing,
I don't think it does anything different
Yes, sir.
for that. I mean, he's either gonna get the money tonight in this ordinance or get the money tonight in the budget ordinance. I don't think it matters.
can I just ask this question? So what you're saying to me right now is that we do not have to go get competitive bids on
Professional
these
services contract.
as a public entity. we're not required to get 3 bids on every project that we do?
No, sir. Not on professional services contracts and not on
Architects,
construction projects less than
And
250,000, yeah.
Very interesting to me.
Yeah.
You would think otherwise watching the news, but
Look, I'm going to tell you, to me, that's insanity, but whatever.
But it's government.
It's piss poor, that's all I'm saying.
However you guys want to handle it, I mean, you can take it off the
So
table.
Councilman Asbill, you're proposing
Do
to,
anything.
we table this, or we vote against it, right? That would be,
Well, I mean,
how do we table it?
rather table it rather than, yeah, I would just move to table.
You can withdraw it.
That kills it?
Or we
I
can-
think that it needs to be done, but I think that just selecting somebody randomly is not in the best interest of the people. So my point is that I would rather see this thing go out for bid, especially like this, but, you know.
Scott, is there a way that I'm not aware of, and you are possibly, that we can approve something requiring that it go out for competitive bid, that the mayor goes out for competitive bid?
$100,000.
But it doesn't say anything attached.
It's just,
I don't know
it's
this.
just insanity to me that you don't have to send this out for 3 bids.
Scott,
Yeah, I
do
mean,
you think this ties us into this group?
Mayor, you trust them with a lot.
You can add language that it doesn't.
I mean, I think with just the ordinance, it doesn't.
Yeah, if the ordinance doesn't say anything about it.
Yeah, you would just have pulled the tab, but Councilman Asbill's got an alternative approach that might approve the money, but without using this ordinance. Were you going down that road? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I was gonna put the $100,000 into the 2026 budget, which we haven't discussed yet, into the capital fund for the 2026 budget. Happy to move forward, however the council likes. If we amend this ordinance, it's gotta be amended to say 2026, which we then gotta move over to our budget sheet anyway, to make sure we're not overspending there. And I would also amend it to remove the attachment.
We don't have the money in 2025.
No.
We do,
You
it's
got money in
it's
capital.
See, yeah, this technically doesn't spend any of our
General fund.
general fund. This is
Strictly out of
this is really an allocation or a.
Allocation of capital fund?
It's a change in stature from unallocated to allocated within the capital fund. But remember, this is the same capital fund. It doesn't have enough money for all of our already previously committed matches on grants that we have.
I'm fine doing this any way we want. We just know we need to have it done by March.
The study's got to be
I'm
complete.
just saying, I would prefer,
But we could approve this and still go get 3 prices.
I'm good with that. I'm just saying, I would prefer that if we shopped it, you know what I mean, rather than just
Well, I think that's
award
just the
something.
council could pass a resolution
Apparently,
requesting the mayor to do it.
Doesn't have a whole
Because I
lot of
think,
power.
other than that, I think that we have nothing other than the power
And I will
of
hold my motions and let
persuasion.
y'all go with things that you want.
I'm ready to approve. I would prefer if we got multiple bids on all of these projects, but apparently that's not for me to discuss, so.
No, it is, Mike,
Do we open-
but it's not just Harahan, it's.
Well, I understand.
It's government,
I think that,
I make a
state
motion.
law.
I'll make a motion to call for the vote.
go.
All right. All in favor of proposed ordinance number 2025-17?
Yay.
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 Yay, nay?
Nay.
All right, 4 yeas, 1 nay. Madam Clerk, please note for the record.
confusion for me.
Yeah.
Okay, proposed ordinance 2025-18. The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Chatelain and seconded by Councilman, who would like that one?
I'll second it.
Ricks. An ordinance adopting the annual budget of revenues and expenditures for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2026 for the city of Harahan, Louisiana.
Okay, anyone want to speak on proposed ordinance number 2025-18, please come to the podium. No one coming forward. We'll now close public hearing. Council discussion.
I think Mr. Buddy had some.
No council discussion?
no.
We'll call for-
Well, wait, you're going to call for a vote? What are you voting on, sir?
proposed ordinance number 2025-?
This is y'all adopting the 2026 budget.
Which is
Todd, you
10
were working on a
million.
spreadsheet?
Absolutely.
Please.
Please. We would love it if you made a presentation.
Let's roll.
Right now, the 2026 budget is $10,568,249. Correct?
Yep.
Nay.
Wait. That's what we're going to talk about next. We're going to go to that. Oh, no, we don't.
It's the same thing, right?
What's that? Fine. You don't have to. That's what we're here for.
Sir? Oh, okay. All right. You want to mark this as received?
This is the 2026, is that correct?
Yeah.
Todd, is this the 2026?
Yeah, so let me walk you through what we have here. So the initial budget that we prepared for 2026, that was previously advertised and presented to the council, basically, we took the 2025 projected amounts and carried them forward to 2026, with the exception of a few known items, such as like the senior center salaries, which we knew we would not have. And we added the police department's requested budget. So the budget, that we had previously presented had a loss of $846,000. That was just based on the information provided to us and to our team, and so that's what we presented. In subsequent meetings with a member or two of the council, we prepared additional edits to the 2026 budgeted amounts, and I can walk you through kind of these briefly. On this new handout, column V.
Can we wait till the mayor returns?
Yeah.
I mean, we're voting on it, but it's his budget.
He went to the restroom, yeah.
Yeah, so I
I'll wait.
propose it.
I think he's familiar with what we discussed.
Is he? I'm not sure he is. Todd?
I'll
So,
wait.
Todd, I have a quick
Go ahead.
question. So, the previous budget you were just saying was less than this proposed budget?
What do you,
Based on the 2025 calculation, you were just saying that this budget was what?
the 2026 budget, as was initially presented, based on the information provided, was a loss of $835,000.
A deficit.
A deficit.
What information provided?
So we used the information, the 2025 projections, okay?
Actual
and
costs.
Actuals plus the 2
Yeah,
months
actual
projections
revenue
for
and cost.
2025, okay? And use that as the baseline for all the city departments. And then the police department, in addition, gave us their request, their proposed budget. And when we added all that information together, it was a loss of $800,000.
So is it fair to say that all, the police department was the chief's proposed budget, but everything else was the 2025 projected
Yes.
revenue and expenses?
Yes, with the exception of a few known differences, such as the senior center salaries.
Gotcha.
Which we know we would not have. There's two other differences, one related to the transfer in on the police millage, which that fund no longer has a fund balance, so that transfer into the general fund is down about $100,000. And so that's the main differences.
So how do we incur this much revenue?
Well, it's,
From what I'm gathering from you.
I don't understand. Yes, sir.
If this is the proposed budget, we're $880,000 short in revenue, is that correct?
Yes.
over in
I don't,
expenses.
I don't think anyone thinks that that's what's going to be voted on here this evening.
Well, I'm asking you as the city accountant
Yeah.
person. So you're saying that we're proposing this budget and we're over budgeting
And we're gonna amend it.
for what we're collecting.
But that's what was initially provided. This handout, based on additional feedback from the council and the police department, modifies that.
We're gonna modify this tonight.
Correct.
So you just took the big number that got us to such a huge deficit on paper was the inclusion of the police department's
Full request.
proposed budget.
Yeah.
And every other item came really through, was generated through the mayor and the finance director. And Ty can talk about the mostly based on 2025's actual, with the exception of the police department. It came from the police department, the chief's proposed
Okay, I
request.
understand that. And you just said, how short are we on this in revenue?
800?
$835,000.
So again, my question is, where are we getting the additional revenue to cover?
That's what this,
We're not.
this,
We're cutting departments.
You have to
Yeah.
cut
Yeah, you
expenses.
gotta cut
Yeah.
expenses. We can't make the money.
So,
right.
question,
My tree went dry.
I know that there was a meeting after our meeting yesterday, and the police department was asked to do some homework, I guess, for lack of a better word. Does this include the adjustment? Is it among the line items in the police department as was?
Yes.
It is?
Yes.
Okay, so that's incorporated in here?
Yes, there was a slight change. I think Kathleen sent a spreadsheet over to us this afternoon. And based on directions from the council, the increase was limited to 200,000 in police. And it was a slightly higher number, 215, 220. So we made it equal 200 at the council's direction.
So if we were to adopt the incorporated changes, we would be adopting column Z,
Column Z, yes.
and that would include a $300,000-ish reduction in general fund funding to the fire department.
Correct.
Understanding that the fire department now would be self-sufficient based on its dedicated revenues.
Yes.
Right?
And
Okay.
one way, not to interrupt, Jason, but one way to see that
Yep,
is on this revised handout, the fire department revenue,
yep.
2.1 million. Fire department expenses, 2.1 million.
Because
So-
the revenue is reflected as a transfer in.
It's a transfer in from the fire sales tax
And
fund.
one other thing, there's no adjustment in fire department expenses to get that fire department in balance. It was just the source of the fire department's revenue.
That's my.
Correct.
Correct?
Correct.
Well, I'm happy to hear that we've come to a place where the deficit would only be $22,000 for next year with an increase for the police department. In some
If all
areas.
the changes
In
that
some
we're going to
areas.
discuss in a little while are approved by the council, it takes what was on paper $835,000 deficit in the general fund down to $22,667.
Right.
Which we hope to eliminate that through further discussions tonight.
Yeah, and I think we can, because I've got some ideas. I had some ideas regarding the police department. I think Mr. Buddy went about it a different way, probably a better way.
Different.
For sure. So I have for the council to distribute a line item amendment sheet that I had. It's got different departments listed on it. We can ignore the police department because those seem like they're taken care of. But there's other cuts we can make in this budget to make us even or even a bit of a surplus. So I'd like to discuss those if we can.
Jason,
Yeah.
logistically, just as an FYI, the adjustments discussed and presented in the meeting tonight, kind of on the fly, we would add to column Y on this spreadsheet.
Gotcha.
So that's kind of the goal,
Okay.
you
That
know.
would be
And-
ups and
and-
downs.
That would be-
Correct, so that we can calculate where we are kind of in real
And
time.
is perhaps Christian going to track
Yeah.
this live to make sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, before y'all get started, I'd like to say I appreciate what you're trying to do for the police department, but the police department, even with this increase, is still not going to be sufficiently funded, and I just want the public to know that.
Yeah, okay. So I'll give one. Yep, give me one. Give me one.
Thank you.
Okay, Councilman,
Yes, sir.
do you want to go through your proposed changes for consideration, or do we want to talk about the changes to get us from a projected $800,000 deficit to a projected $22,000 deficit? Those are 4 to 5 items that get us to this number as a starting point. I'm happy to do it either way, but we definitely have to discuss for consideration getting from the $835,000 deficit to the $22,000.
It's the combination of 300 and something thousand, 350,000 transfer in, which is additional revenue to the general fund.
Right.
And the police department expenses being reduced by about 500,000
From what was proposed.
from what was in the initial
Being
budget.
increased over last year's.
Still an increase over last year, correct.
So 260 something
200,
thousand.
correct, correct. But that's basically the two numbers that,
I mean, we can go by line, but
Yeah.
I mean, we can go line by line, but I think that, I mean, the police department has spread it out how they feel it's best necessary to do that.
Well, it's only part of it. There were 3 or 4 parts.
So,
I'm sorry. Oh. You got some extras? Sorry. Okay. Well, I'm happy to go through yours one at a time.
okay, let's do that then. So the way, I'm gonna tell you how it's shaping out here. So on the far left column is the worksheet line that the adjustment is on. Now, this is based off of our previous worksheet, not the one we received tonight. So line 126, and then of course it gives you the actual the line item code, the description of it, decreasing or increasing to a number, and then the net change in the fund balance, all the way on the right. So line 126, I've got in non-departmental is HR services. Currently, we're paying $30,000 for HR services. I talked to Samantha this afternoon regarding those services, and she thinks that we wouldn't be in too much of a detriment if we were to cut those services. Those services are, the big part of it was revision of the employee handbook, which we did either last year or end of last year. And so that was a big part of it. They helped us consult through that. But now it's quarterly meetings where they update her on HR laws and things like that, which she says she can get through some other service subscription that would be much less. And so, so that would be a $30,000 cut for those services.
So before we move on, and I understand what you just said about that very clearly, amended column O is,
It corresponds to your previous worksheet that you had before tonight.
okay. But
So,
what-
we're decreasing it to 0, is what that says.
So, okay, so that is the change.
That is the
in
change.
column O.
That's
Thank you.
HR subcontracting.
Yeah. I participated in some of those calls when we were going through the handbook, because I've had some experience rewriting handbooks, and we got some value for that. But past that, I believe that type of input into current HR changes can be had for a lot less than $30,000 a lot more timely than quarterly meetings.
Agree. Yeah. So should we approve these line by line so that we can make the edits and?
Probably because they may not all get approved.
Right, yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
So I think we probably should.
So I would move to amend line,
You have to go non-departmental and give it the code
yeah,
number.
I would move to amend account 010-4-110-41011 HR services to $0.
And we're going to open for public hearing. And coming forth, we'll close public hearing. We have a second by Councilman Chatelain. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 noes.
The next two are in general government. And this is more of a question than an actual cut. I don't understand what vehicle repairs and maintenance and gas and oil we're covering under general government. The only general government vehicle we would have, I think, is the mayor's vehicle. So I don't know why we've budgeted that.
Is regulatory vehicle?
They have a
That'd be
regulatory.
regulatory,
Yeah.
okay.
So I didn't drill down into what it was, but I don't think we would need $8,000 in general government vehicles, repair, maintenance, and fuel.
Well, I mean, if you're putting gas in a car, it ain't gonna run without it, so.
Well, I don't
But I
think
mean,
we're
if
putting
we
gas
have-
in the car. The mayor has a car allowance.
No, I'm talking about
He's got the
I'm talking about the
city
city.
No, it doesn't.
No car allowance, it's a city vehicle, so they.
So
pay the
Mayor, do
gas.
we currently pay for your gasoline?
You do.
Okay.
Okay.
And
So I think you-
there is a vehicle for regulatory?
45.
I mean,
But it's in a regulatory one.
so you,
I think we could cut this
Regulatory
4,500.
vehicles is in regulatory?
Yeah.
So what is
Okay.
the
whole thing, the two of
4484 vehicle repairs and maintenance? What is the 4484 referring to? To your car or to?
It's got to be. That's the only car in general government.
and your car is fairly new.
Yeah, I don't know.
Might even still be in warranty.
Okay. It's the, okay.
So I
It's
think
the
we
old
could
Explorer.
scratch-
We can just scratch
I
vehicle.
think we could
repairs and
scratch vehicle repair and maintenance. I think we need to keep gas, oil, and fuel.
Right.
So when you say scratch it, you mean bring it to
Bring it
zero?
to zero.
Amend it to zero?
Amended to zero.
But you think we need to, Councilman,
I think we need to
Chatelain, you
keep
think
the
we need to keep line,
gas, oil, and fuel.
So let's just amend how we're going to amend, and I would move to amend account number 010-4-111-42500, vehicle repairs and maintenance, decrease to $0.
I second.
Okay, we have a second by Councilman Buddy. We'll open for public hearing. No one coming forth, we'll close public hearing. All in favor?
Yay.
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 5 yeas, 0 nays.
I would skip
Yeah, we're
gas,
gonna,
oil, and fuel. I would leave that
Leave it.
active.
So
Perfect.
that's gonna go back into the budget.
But we didn't take it out, so it's just gonna stay there still.
it's just
Yeah,
going to stay there.
just gonna stay there.
So we can skip the next department there for police department. That, I believe, is
Next.
handled.
10 or so line items.
That's right.
Senior center, same.
Senior center, here, we currently have 0 budgeted as the insurance expense for senior center. I called City Hall today and found out that that's actually a $15,315 expense this past year for just the senior center building insurance. So I'd like to add that in, because at the end of the day, all of this counts towards the $40,000 contribution that we make to run the senior center.
Okay.
So I would move to amend account 010-4-117-40500, insurance expense for the senior center to increase to $15,315.
You're cutting the senior center budget down to $25,000 then. You get basically taking the electric bills over $10,000 a year.
So,
They got water,
Last year
they
they
got other
spent-
expenses. I mean, the building's a city building.
I'm increasing to insure the building.
Well, you increase.
Increase.
I thought you
said
We're not
decrease.
decreasing, no,
It says
we're
increase.
Wait, you're increasing the cost
We're increasing
incurred under the
15,000.
senior center.
Oh, it says increase,
account.
I'm sorry,
Right.
you got so many decreases there.
That's the only increase we got.
The year, the older eyes
But,
saw a decrease.
Paul, it may
I'm
have
sorry.
the effect you're talking about.
I'm sorry.
But it may
That's
have the
the
effect
only
you're talking about.
increase on the page.
It says increase.
Yeah,
So-
but we're increasing the costs that are going to appear.
Like,
in
I
the
lost my top, I got
accumulated-
so upset. I
So-
mean, you know,
so-
my top's going now.
So the contract that we signed with Harahan Senior Center, Inc. regarding operation of the senior center requires the city to contribute up to $40,000 for insurance, utilities, and general maintenance. And so this is continuing to do that. It's just making sure that it's actually counted towards that $40,000 because previously it had not been accounted to the department.
So we're increasing the senior budget to 55,000.
No, sir.
No.
This is a cost.
It's a cost.
just- it's
One of
just
the
a cost.
costs. We're giving them 40,000.
But you're taking it away from them.
No.
No,
it's-
we're
it
giving
was
them 40,000.
We're giving them
They're gonna get
40,000
40,000.
Right.
For all the costs.
That's it.
But this is one of the costs that apply against the
But the 15, so
40,000.
they only have 25,000
It's-
left to pay.
Yeah, yeah. They only have 25,000 of the $40,000
What did they
budget.
spend last
But
year?
it's with the city's contract that we give them
And what?
40,000 a year to
Senior
cover
center.
maintenance, insurance, and
46,193.
expenses,
And utilities.
and utilities.
So we're giving them 46,193, that's the same thing.
I got it.
Yeah.
Hold on.
That's no good.
you a chance to talk.
Well, it is or it's not. Do we have a copy of it? Can we get a copy?
Yeah, we can get a copy of it.
Yeah. Well,
Miss Sandy has a
it's not like
copy.
we need one.
Carrie, do you have the official copy? Let's go with what the city's looking at. And
Is that what Chad brought us today?
if yours disagrees, what you hear will be, you'll come up and we'll chat about
She wants the
it.
contract.
Figure it out.
Unless I have a
While
bad contract.
while Carrie is going to get that, can I ask a question?
See, I might have it.
This has to have a corresponding reduction somewhere in general insurance expense. So it comes out as to the budget, it comes out as a wash. It affects the senior center
Yeah, yeah, and I don't,
expenses, but it will reduce some other.
correct, and I don't know where that is.
Right, but we need to have
It
that,
would come out insurance.
we need to, yeah, whatever that, but we don't reflect that change here.
Right. You have-
This is not a savings, and from a general overall budget, it's not an increase in cost, it's not a savings. It's got to come out as a wash.
Row 115.
So the senior center building, of all this, is $15,000 for the senior center building.
That's the
Just that
insurance
building.
cost, yes, sir.
Out of the 100,000 we pay, 15,000,
Well, I
because
think,
it's budget 100,000 in there. Maybe that's 100,000, the other insurance liability.
yeah, it's, we pay 392,000
Right,
in
so that's
insurance, in building
insurance for
insurance.
everything.
Yes. And that's on line
But that was
115.
never discussed, that was never brought up, insurance, that was part of that $40,000 is to operate that building, not to insure that building. Just like the city cuts the grass, the city maintains different things.
Look,
If the roof goes bad, the city takes care of the roof. If certain things happen to the building, they take care of the building. So don't come up with that stuff that the city, that they're gonna take the 15,000 out of. We only give them $40,000 to run that center. $40,000, and they run that center, every day they're there.
We need to
Mike, I'm talking, okay? I don't need you to interrupt me. When I'm finished, you can talk. They got $40,000 to run that center. They can run that center 5 days a week, they're there every day. And y'all gonna take 15,000 of the 40,000 they got for insurance? That's ridiculous. That was never mentioned in that contract, never.
Okay.
But that's what I was saying, we need to see the contract. I haven't seen the contract. And that's all
Yeah,
I was
Carrie
saying.
should be able to pull a copy of it.
So I think we got to look at it as, we're not giving anybody anything.
You're taking 15,000 away
We're
from
not, and we're not
$40,000
taking,
budget.
and we're not taking anything. We are contributing $40,000 to run a senior center.
Right.
That's it.
And it was never mentioned 15,000, that 40,000, 15,000 was insurance. 40,000 to run the senior center, not 15,000 that to come out for insurance. That was never mentioned.
Okay.
It's not in the budget. Read the budget. Go down the line items. Do you see insurance line item in the budget? No, you do not.
Does somebody have a copy of the contract?
Carrie's going to look for it.
Okay, thank you.
I don't see insurance line item in the.
No, you don't, because they don't do it that way.
But I also see, but Mr. Johnson, I also see janitorial services in the budget.
Right?
But the contract specifically says we don't pay for janitorial services. So the budget doesn't line up with the contract. We're gonna see what the contract says right now. And I'm
You guys were
99% sure
talking
it
about-
says insurance.
You were talking about, I got one.
You got it?
Yeah. You were talking about putting money in a line item for recreation. Y'all got a line item in there for recreation, for them to have money to spend for senior parties. Y'all were talking about doing that. So that's what I had written in here because they don't,
So I look on line 6,
I'll take one, Kerry, just if you have it.
line 6 on the first page, the city of Harahan will allocate $40,000. The budget allocation will cover insurance, water,
Paragraph 6,
gas, electricity, grass cutting, and general maintenance.
up to.
Up to $40,000 for those costs. I didn't write this contract.
Yep.
I don't know where it came from,
it says it.
but that's what I have. That's what I worked with to create these amendments.
And that's what I was saying.
It
I
says
just
it.
needed to see it. So,
Didn't see the contract.
I mean, we could
I
amend and
accept your
change
apology.
and
That's,
add more
really,
money.
if I wasn't in an open meeting, I would say 2 words about that. That's crappy, but I'd say a different word. These people are working their butts off over there for the seniors, and you're gonna take $15,000 to $40,000 to make them pay insurance, so take it out of their budget.
We could amend and add.
Yeah, I'm with.
This is what the agreement said.
I'm
that
with
he worked his
Councilman
budget.
Chatelain.
Look, I agree.
We have to follow this
If you
agreement.
want to add money.
We can have another
We can add
discussion.
money and
I
have that,
agree.
you know, that's not a problem.
We can have another
If we
discussion.
want to go to capital next year and say, hey, guys, we need this at the seniors to allocate for recreation or something, we could do that.
Nope, you're right. I didn't know they had insurance in there. It's there.
I mean, I was part of this contract when we signed it, you know, and then,
I wasn't, but, okay.
I wasn't either.
No,
Just so
nor was
everybody's
I.
aware. I got a copy of it, and that's what I went
well,
with.
I just got a copy for the first
Yeah, first time I
time.
saw it.
Spike signed it, you signed it, and you signed it. So,
So I
Apparently,
think-
that
I
was-
think from
that
a
was
budget
discussed.
perspective, we need to abide by this. I think we're required to do it by law. And then I think we need to have a separate conversation if we want to supplement or work towards amending this agreement. Wait, can we open this line item
I'm
up to
happy.
public discussion?
Happy to, because I haven't discussed it with anybody.
Yeah.
I came up with it yesterday
Yeah,
afternoon,
So-
sitting in my mom's basement all by
I
myself.
move that we open up this proposed amendment to the line item to public discussion to allow the Harahan Senior Center LLC folks to
We
comment.
have a motion by Councilman Buddy, second by
Second.
Councilman Jason to open up public hearing. Public hearing is now open.
Be Councilman Jason's nice, I'll take that.
Sandy Lemoyne, 43 Berkeley Avenue. When we agreed to this insurance was that we were going to cover the insurance for Harahan Senior Center, Inc. When we had, the spirit of this agreement was, and we discussed this in detail, because at first, it was just that the city was going to cover the building insurance, because we couldn't get building insurance. So the city was going to pay for building insurance. We went through line by line, which was almost impossible to do, downloading your expenses, and we went through it to make sure we would have the money to provide whatever was in excess of the $40,000. The building insurance was discussed, and it was discussed that, number one, we couldn't afford it, number two, we couldn't get insurance on the building. The city had to insure it. The insurance that we agreed to cover, which we do, we have a policy that indemnifies the city in case somebody gets hurt during one of our functions. That was the insurance that was in here, not building insurance.
So
We
I think
we discussed that, I don't know if you remember, Mayor, but we discussed that, and we said, we can't afford to insure the building.
So I think there's misunderstanding. We're not asking you to cover building insurance. We're just making sure that we budget for it in our line item and that it accounts for the $40,000 contribution that we make to run the senior center. We're not asking you to cover it because you do have to provide your liability insurance.
Right, but as far as the building insurance goes, we can't take that out of the $40,000 because this year, for utilities and for all the other expenses, it looks like it cost the $40,000. If you take that out, like
Yeah.
Counselor Johnson's saying, we only going to have $25,000. We can't come up with that difference. We are nickel and diming right now to cover everything. I take a lot of money out of my pocket. Spike takes a lot of money out of his pocket. The seniors are contributing money. We sell things at Adelaide's for a quarter and $1 and $5 and whatever. We rent the center. Our blood, sweat, and tears goes into this place because we love the seniors.
No, and I hate to cut, I understand that, but we got to remember that we spent only $46,000 in the senior center last year, and that included 2.5 months of salaries, right?
It did not include the 15,000 for building
Right,
insurance.
so right.
It just,
Included 2 months of salary.
am I correct? Is this just a big misunderstanding about the insurances? Because they're covering the liability insurance. We as a city are supposed to cover the building insurance.
That's my
Is that
understanding,
correct?
that's my understanding of
So
the
it's
contract.
just a big
yes.
misunderstanding. So that's what I was trying to say. And-
So what is this adjustment going to do to our 40,000? Or is it going to be reduced?
We're
We're in that
contributing,
discussion
we're
now.
contributing $40,000 to the senior center operation,
All right.
Including building insurance?
including building insurance,
That
water,
wasn't-
gas, electric,
He was going to pay for the
grass
building
cutting, and
insurance
general
on
maintenance.
top of.
So,
So-
That wasn't supposed to come out of the 40.
So if we want to amend the contract at some point, I'm not saying we can't
Right,
do that.
right,
We have to.
we have to.
I mean,
Well, we have,
literally.
I think we have to,
Yeah.
or they may be in a position to walk away. I don't know that, but it's a big number for a volunteer.
I mean, that's why we're here
to
discussing
absorb.
Yeah, the only
Well, I
point, the only
agree with-
point is that the insurance allocation should be contributed to the department. That's,
Correct.
that's what the budget
Unless
says.
and until we amend the contract.
No department, it comes out of their budget, the chief does, it shouldn't,
And the fire does.
the fireman, it shouldn't, because it didn't before, but that's a,
But
before, when Vinnie and I were mayor,
Well, we
it
budgeted
changed
for
when
it,
Tina
anyway.
Maselli became mayor, but it was never budgeted to the department, it came out of one line item, but y'all changed the way you do stuff, and that's why his budget's blown up. But they shouldn't be charged out of their line item. You don't have a department with a line item for insurance? So they got $40,000, they think, the insurance they talked about was the insurance that insured the seniors if they fall in the parking lot. That's what they were talking about with the mayor. They were talking about the insurance to cover the seniors if they fall in the building.
So-
If they
So
not
I'm
talking
gonna
about
sit here and tell
insuring
you,
the
I was
building.
in that conversation when we had these meetings.
I sure
And
wish
I'll
I
be
could have been
perfectly honest
involved.
with you, it wasn't discussed in that detail.
Oh, I understand, but in their minds, that's what it was. That's what, in their minds, that's what it was. It was insuring the seniors in
Councilman?
case they fell.
Chatelaine, before you attended that meeting, the mayor and I did have a conversation about building insurance, because at first he said something about us insuring a building. And I said, I can't even get insurance on it because I don't own it.
Well, you could if we had a lease and you had an insurable requirement. I mean, that happens all the time.
Yeah.
But not, that's.
But
that's
besides
an
the fact,
aside.
we don't have the money.
Yeah, I wasn't in that
And so when we
conversation.
figured out,
But
because,
guys, this-
because we
this-
didn't
Let
know.
me explain this right now. This right here is a discussion to amend the budget. We're not saying we gotta adopt this the way it is. This is a discussion to amend this budget. You know, if we have enough people up here to disagree with this, it's not gonna happen.
Well, I'm
But I
asking you
understand on
not
the
to
same
agree
note,
to it. because
Councilman
we-
Asbill reads the contract, this is what he comes up with. I mean, I'm gonna defend him when he reads that contract. That's how he came up with this number.
Yeah, and so I know there's discussion from Councilman Johnson regarding, I intend at some point to get into the insurance numbers and assign them to the right department. Because how do you really know what a department costs if you don't attribute what it actually costs to that department?
Right.
You don't. And so that's why you have to attribute the department's actual cost to each department. We can't just keep it all under general government. Because as you would say, that blows up the mayor's budget, right? When it's not really all the mayor's budget that's being insured.
And along those lines, agreeing with you, when we do that, and where we have, as a council, this council and I think this council corrected some of what the previous mayor had done, we made sure that we included that in our total budget considerations.
Correct.
So we funded it. It was a cost allocated to a department, so you recognize the cost of the department, but we funded it. Here, we're not talking about a department, we're talking about an agreement. And I think we're obligated to live up to the agreement, and I feel we should amend the agreement, amend it for clarity and amend it to a reasonable amount of pure operating funds. This is a burden. This is a G&A type cost. This isn't really an operations cost. But I read this the same way Councilman Asbill did. It says, we're contributing up to $40,000, and one of the items is for insurance, and this is certainly insurance. So my suggestion is we amend this budget, and the council put on an agenda an amendment to the 40,000, because that number needs to be worked out, there needs to be an amendment to the contract.
So you want to
Mr.
take the
City Attorney,
46?
did you write this?
No, they actually wrote it.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Well,
It needs,
I think our city attorney should write the contract. I think that they should get the building insurance funded by the city, and they should get the $40,000 allocation, just simply because it's the right thing to do.
Guys,
It was understood that way. It needs to be corrected.
all we got to do is vote
Well,
no
let's do it.
on line item
But I think you still have to allocate it.
546.
What?
Or we leave it here and we amend the budget to add the $15,000.
no, I think the contract's got to be amended.
The contract.
great.
Yeah.
we
But we'd
have,
have to allocate the funding through the budget.
well, let's allocate it.
Well, to begin with, let me correct Councilman Asbill. The mayor's budget, the general fund budget, the administration's budget, he does not pay the insurance. It comes out of non-departmental. The mayor has his general government administration budget. It's not, the insurance comes out of non-departmental, $392,000.
Okay.
So it's not the mayor's budget.
What-
That's
yeah.
what I'm trying to say. So why are we going to make them pay insurance out of their 40? That's ridiculous. Just leave it alone.
Because I
It's
wanna know-
$392,000.
I wanna know the
It's
true
coming out of
cost.
non-departmental. Why were we want to dig each department? Probably the most insurance, probably recreation, because that's where you got to worry about the most injuries, is recreation. I would think they're the highest. You know,
Probably.
maybe the police and fire are higher than them, but I would think when you got kids playing at the playground, you know, I would think, but maybe police and fire are higher too. But
So the reason I would want to allocate it across the departments is because I, and I think other councilmen, want to know the true cost of operating a department.
Each department.
Each department.
Right.
And at some point, if we decide, you know, 10 years down the road, these costs keep increasing, it becomes not beneficial to run a department, maybe the council has good information to know exactly what a department costs and whether or not they can continue running that department.
That is absolutely correct.
So my proposal would be,
Yeah, the
To add-
allocation to departments, Councilman, I don't think it's the key here. I think if you interpret this contract in one way, and I think it's debatable, it's argumentable, but I think it can easily be interpreted that the 40,000 covers insurance. So
This adds it. This adds
what
it.
the resolution needs to be is the council
But you gotta have
needs to agree on if we want to increase that 40 by an amount up to 15,000 to cover this. I agree with what Councilman Asbill is doing. If we're keeping track of expenses where we're paying it up to,
240.
insurance is one of them. It's insurance on a building. It's the major, well, it may not be the major, probably the highest or second. But I, for one, think that this is a huge hit to a not-for-profit who's providing a huge service to the citizens of our area, our Harahan and our area. So I'm in favor of providing additional funds that would allow for an amendment of the contract.
And we need to amend the contract.
well, either that or you don't have, in that budget, you don't have a line item with insurance. So we gave a $40,000 budget to what we have on the budget. This is the budget. There's no line item with insurance. The budget we gave them was $40,000 on this line item budget. You're adding a new line item. If you're going to give them, charge them $15,000, you got to add the insurance line item in here. So it's going to reduce their other line items.
The insurance line item is in there.
It's not in their budget. It's in non-departmental.
The money's not in
The
it.
money's not in there. So you got to add another line item to their department budget because it's not in their budget.
Well, we need to leave it where it's
So
at.
what you do is you either add insurance line item and then increase their budget to $55,000, then we good. Or like Tommy says, Councilman Buddy, amend the contract that they got, where they straighten out, knowing they don't have to pay for their insurance.
Yeah, so my proposal is to amend account 010-4-117-40500, insurance expense in senior center, to increase it to $15,315.
So that adds $15,000 to their budget.
That adds $15,000 out to their budget.
Yeah, so it's
what they have.
Correct, that's what it's been since
So
we
it's gonna
started
be
this conversation,
50,000?
gentlemen.
So you add,
55.
so I just said, so that budget becomes $55,000.
As of right now, yes.
Well, I said that a long time ago.
All we
You
need to
said-
do is amend the contract.
We have to amend the contract.
I said
That's
that a
all we
long
gotta do.
time ago, and you said no. I said increase their budget to $55,000. You said no, it keeps at 40.
But their contract now.
Their contract provides
It keeps
that
the
we are going to
contract
reimburse
at
them for
$40,000.
costs. There's a
I
distinct,
understand that, okay.
there's a,
Now you explain it.
This will
The contract
necessarily-
says 40, we're going to increase their contract to 55. We're going to amend the budget, increase their budget to 55.
What I'm doing
But we're
right,
going to put a line item in there. The new line item that you have is,
what I'm doing right now is increasing the budget to 55. I'm not doing anything with the contract. It's increasing the budget to 55.
Mayor, we
Okay,
need to
you
get with
didn't say
them.
that. I asked
Mayor,
you.
we need to get with
It's
them and
pretty
renew
clear,
the
we're working
contract.
on, Councilman, we're working on budget amendments.
Councilman, that's what I said in the beginning. I lost my top when you said we increased 15,000, but then when I asked the question, you said, no, you were taking the 15,000 out of their 40,000.
All we need to do is amend the
I
contract.
move to reopen the public meeting.
I didn't close it.
Okay, thank you.
You just told me to come up here.
No, I'm just saying, we're gonna amend the contract. We need to come in and amend the contract before the first of the year.
55,000.
Before the first of the year.
55.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay.
Except for tomorrow. By the way, while I'm up
I'm
here,
happy.
Free Food
Food
Fun
Friday.
Friday tomorrow, 1 o'clock. It's also our Christmas party. Y'all all invited.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, well, if that hadn't been explained in the beginning, I wouldn't be talking.
We just want to
Well,
hear you
because
talk.
Yeah, it's like-
It's
because-
1 o'clock.
That's what I was saying in the
But we do.
beginning,
Thank you.
is that the contract
Needs to be amended.
needed to be amended.
Okay.
And the contract,
I'm good.
their understanding of the insurance cost was not the same understanding as we
Okay.
had as the insurance cost, because we weren't in the meeting. Ed, Jason, me, you, Tommy.
I
we weren't in the
understand
meeting.
now. I understand.
Whatever
That's what I
we
was
do to our budget, we could increase the senior center budget to $100,000.
Whoa.
No,
Let's not even
wait,
talk
it doesn't change.
That'd be good.
It doesn't change the obligations of the parties under this agreement. So there's two ways to do this. We can amend this agreement to specifically exclude building insurance and say the city will incur the cost of providing building insurance.
That's what-
If the council,
That's what I prefer to do, but,
yeah,
Well, Mr. Buddy,
because building insurance is gonna change.
you and Scott handle that.
Right, but I
So
think,
you got to amend
I
all
don't
those
get a
different line
retainer.
items. You got to amend the insurance line item in non-departmental to reduce that by 15, because you're going to add insurance line item in the budget for the senior center and put a 15. So you got to make about 3 or 4 amendments in the budget.
Scott said,
So-
not me.
So make a motion to defer
Hey, Scott, good
make a
move.
motion to defer the budget. You got too many amendments to make.
No, we don't.
No, because we're going line item by line item.
I move to amend account, guys, this is my third motion on this. I'm gonna ask for a second and see if we can get it done.
Okay, well, the way I
I move to
understand it
amend-
now, I'm fine.
I move to amend the account number 010-4-117-40500, insurance expense for the senior center, to increase to $15,315.
Okay, that's a new line item in the senior center budget.
It is a new expense. It is our, the
Councilman,
The
line item
was
is there.
there, it was at zero.
It's at zero.
Okay.
Councilman, do we have a sister corresponding motion to reduce the general liability?
We will, yes, sir.
Okay.
We have a motion by Councilman Asbill.
Second.
By Councilman Chatelain on the proposed amendment. All in favor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
I move to amend account number 010-4-110-40500, non-departmental insurance expense, decreased by $15,315.
Okay, we have a motion. Now,
What line item's that?
But
115.
115.
that's not on here.
That's not on this
That's
sheet.
not on here, that's in-
115.
115, yes, sir. You were just looking at it in non-departmental.
Yeah. I got thick fingers. It takes me a few minutes to turn the page.
Coming forth, no one coming forth, we'll now close public hearing.
Wait a minute. Let me get to that page. We reduced about 15,000.
315.
yes, exact amount. They offset from the budget.
Right.
From our
Okay.
budget. Yes.
Move the vote.
All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Madam Clerk? Councilman Aguilar?
These are going to be controversial because they decrease us. So you'll see the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And look, guys, again, I was just looking at the contract and going through it and seeing what our $40,000 needs to be allocated to. And I assume the same thing was done when we came up with this $40,000 number. And one of those things, and 6 of those things is not stationery printing, office supplies, computer supplies, miscellaneous for 15,000, whatever that is, senior events, and janitorial supplies. Those are specifically covered as expenses of HSC in the contract. So I'm not saying that we're going to decrease the funding of the senior center by these amounts. What I'm saying is our funding will not be allocated to these line items.
Right.
Got it.
Well, I do want to know what it's costing us to run the senior center and what in global.
Costing us 55,000. Everything else is on them.
Well, that may have just changed. Because Jason here's, by removing these items, that's not saying
This
this
is gonna-
applies to their party.
That's right. This is,
This is just costs we've incurred. You're saying we shouldn't incur these costs.
we should not incur these costs. It will increase our surplus. However, as costs come to us for the senior center for insurance, water, gas, electric, grass cutting, general maintenance, and whatever's amended to put in it,
We should pay it.
we should pay it up to $40,000.
Or as we amend that contract, but yes, I'm
Yes.
following.
Okay. I have no problem, because I already had removed them, which I did was, because when you guys had told me that y'all wanted to fund their functions, that y'all wanted to help them pay for for coffee in the morning, when seniors come in, they buy them coffee or donuts, and they do have birthday parties for the seniors, and they have their, every month, they have their senior function for the seniors, and their group pays for it, and they have different functions for, you guys had mentioned y'all wanted to fund that line item. So what I was thinking about doing with all those line items that they don't have to fund, because that money's, is to move all that into, instead of taking the 13, 15 out, is to move all that into that line item, which would make that $4,809, and let them have that for their functions. In other words, they could have their parties and stuff and help them pay for the parties. And then they're still going to, we're going to leave the budget at 55,000. That's going to be the budget. And if they don't use the money, they're not going to spend it. If they don't use it, it's going to be a surplus they're going to have. We're just going to take it back from them for next year, for the following year.
But we have a hard time carrying money forward. Let's just remember that.
Right.
If a department has a surplus.
So since you agree with removing the.
Yeah, I do.
So let's go ahead and take those one by one. Or maybe we'll take,
But we're not taking the money away from them because their budget's going to stay 55,000.
Correct.
Right. I understand that.
we
But
just
we're not gonna
removing the
pay these
expense.
Just removing the line item.
We just
That's
remo-
not them.
That's right, we're just
Right.
removing the line item.
Right.
You take them in Louisville, or you want to take
The whole section.
Well, Mayor, Todd and the mayor, have we been paying these expenses
Well,
for
some
the
of that was
last few
prior.
months?
Well, this is for 26.
Yeah, but have we been paying these expenses,
In 25, we
In
had a senior
25.
center for 2.5 months.
Yeah,
but for the last few months of the year?
No.
We have not.
Okay, all right, yeah, so I think they come out. In
Yes.
fact, from a
So-
theoretical point of view, we can budget it now, subject to an amendment later. We can use some of this money for a projected increase in the contract contribution to the city. If we're talking as a
understand that.
council, that we may amend this contract to contribute more than the 40.
Well, you contributed the 40 plus the 15 for the insurance. I'm not looking to
Correct.
give them anything else.
Correct. But that's increasing the city's contribution by 15 grand. Because what we just did was a wash.
Correct.
A wash to the city. But
Okay. Right. Can we get this moving?
So,
Yeah.
yeah, so
We're running out of time.
I would move that we, in the senior center department, we decrease account numbers 4,500, 41,100, 41,400, 41,500, 42,400, 42,420, 42,800 to zero.
Yep.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Councilman Asbill, second by Councilman Chatelain. All in favor?
Yeah.
Yay.
Madam Clerk, 5 yeas, 0 nays. Amendment passes. Councilman.
Next department is regulatory. Line 635. This is a decrease in salaries because we have someone at the end of this year who's leaving the court department. There's a regulatory person who is moving over to take that position in the court department, and this would essentially not replace the regulatory position, which I think perhaps we can do without a new person in the regulatory position.
Okay.
So this reduces that line item to 64,000, which is the regulatory director's salary. Now, he has other people that do work in that department, but they're also coded to other departments. So he's got a couple of people that work with them, and there's also subcontractor, both inspectors and a part-time personnel who's coded under subcontractors that do work for regulatory departments. So it's not a one-man department as it looks like.
Yeah.
So that would save us about $23,000, and the salary encumbrance, which I guesstimated about 40%.
What is that? That's
What's that?
payroll taxes?
Yeah, all
And
the-
just all the other
all the other- however it
retirement?
adjusts out, yeah.
Got it, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
So, Mayor, what are your comments about this?
I think he's right.
Okay.
I
Who's
don't think
leaving?
what you maybe is wrong.
Sir?
Who's leaving?
Patsy.
Miss
Patsy's
Patsy in the court department, she's going to work at the 24th. And so we're moving the regulatory lady, Miss Carla, over to court.
So we'll still have 2 people in court?
Still have 2 people in court, yes, sir.
Okay. Because I'm hoping that they get busy.
Yes. 2 people, and I think there's a volunteer or a part-time person who
Yeah,
also,
Ms. Louise.
Miss Louise works over there with them. Yeah.
He's correct.
So I would propose that we decrease account 0104-118-49,000 to $64,000.
Okay, we're going to open for public hearing. Anyone to speak for or against? We'll close public hearing. We have a second by Councilman Chatelain. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Madam Clerk, amendment passes.
Jason,
The next line
I'm sorry, the change is actually 23,701
Okay.
to get it to 64,000.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Since you voted to
I
get
rounded off.
get
Yep.
it to 64, that's the actual change.
Okay.
We'll note that ministerial.
Thank you. The next change is an annual leave payout, I think, that just carried over. I don't anticipate we'll have that annual leave payout because we don't have anybody who has annual leave accrued in regulatory anymore. And so we would just decrease account 01, amend to decrease account 010-4-118-49300, annual leave pay for regulatory to zero.
Okay.
We have a motion by Councilman Asbill. We'll open the public hearing. No one can report. We'll close public hearing. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Madam Clerk,
Now-
amendment passes.
I'd like to get a running total on where we are on surplus or deficit of general fund at this point, if that's okay.
We could take a recess.
Yep. Yep, take a 5
Yeah.
5 minutes?
Yeah.
5-minute recess.
What about the salary encumbrance? Do you factor those in already?
Yeah, they're gonna just run it down.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
But did y'all vote on that?
We didn't vote on the encumbrance.
Y'all didn't vote on that?
Well, it's in
Okay.
the annual leave is the same
Was
line
it an
item.
annual leave?
Okay.
No.
Then I'll move, and I don't know how to say this other than say, it's 6 different line items about.
We'll
between
estimate it.
FICA, Medicare,
Yeah.
retirement matches, all that stuff.
Hospitalization.
I think we
Hospitalization.
could do that with percentage. And
Yeah,
couple-
we can
Yeah,
estimate.
Get that
so,
number.
so I
But I
moved,
do-
I moved to decrease those by $6,900.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll open for public hearing. If no one coming forth, we'll close public hearing. Motion by Councilman Asbill to
What are
decrease
we
salary
increasing?
encumbrances by
The
$6,900.
salary encumbrances.
The salary
that go along with the
encumbrances
salary.
For
For
regulatory.
regulatory, So we decrease the salary,
So we got to
so that's necessarily going to decrease all the other stuff.
FICA tax and all the
I
other.
think there might be a number,
6,900?
6,900. That's an
They may-
inexact science.
there may be a
That's all
large number that you
benefits.
haven't considered, and health insurance. I don't know what the status of that is, but that's a $10,000.
I don't know if that
I
employee
mean,
participated in
You-
health insurance or
You
not.
said it was a 40%. Is it-
This is a 40%.
6,900 doesn't cover health insurance. I understand this is burden,
Correct, we don't even know if they had health insurance.
right, but I'm just saying there's maybe a very real savings there.
It's just, yeah, and it's just the burden on the 23,000.
Right.
Not, yeah.
Yeah, it's a direct labor-related
second it.
burden.
All in favor? We have a motion by Councilman Asbill, second by Councilman Chatelain. All in favor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Madam Clerk, please note the amendment.
Move for a 5-minute recess.
We have a motion by Councilman Asbill, second by Councilman Chatelain for a 5-minute recess. We're going to call a meeting back to order, and Madam Clerk, I'd like to take a moment of personal privilege and just congratulate Dave Corsell, who just got confirmed as the U.S. District Attorney for, is it Southeast Louisiana District?
The Eastern District. of
Eastern
Louisiana.
District of Louisiana. That's incredible. You know, he's one of Harahan's own, and to see someone high to that level of recognition is incredible for us, the city of Harahan, and one of all of ours dearest friends, because he served with all of us at some point in time in his career. So congratulations to the Corsell family, and David, to you, we love you, brother. Congratulations, man.
Congratulations.
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 Okay, so we left off, I was looking for an accounting of where we are on the either surplus or deficit for the 2026 budget, and I think they've calculated a roundabout number.
So we did some math. So we started with a deficit of 22,667. That's column Z, the bottom right corner. We just reduced the expenses by 97,716, which that actually ties, we tied it to your
Oh, great.
spreadsheet, so the totals match.
Good.
Except for the 701 little delta. So the loss, negative 22 plus 97, we're at positive 77, 261.
Could you go by the departments, the reductions in each, like non-departmental, what is the new, it's 1281, it's now 1251?
Do you have that?
You reduced by 30,000.
I would need his laptop.
Okay.
Yep.
That's all right, Todd, that's okay, Todd. I got it written down, that's okay. Don't worry about it.
Let me see if I can get it on.
We'll get a revision.
Todd, that's okay.
We'll get a
We'll just
clean
get a
revision.
revision later.
Todd, that's,
Yeah, we can send it out, we have it.
that's
So-
okay, as long as we know it's a surplus
We
now.
can send it out.
Yeah, we're,
Go.
All right, Councilman?
So, if the council is satisfied with the general fund, I do have other amendments on this sheet that don't apply, but would stay on the general
I'm not finished with
fund.
the general fund
Okay,
yet.
let's stay there. Yeah, I prefer to stay on the general fund if we.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We haven't gone through some of the other changes line by line. We did talk about the city will no longer be using, from 2026 forward, general revenue funds towards the fire department. The fire department will be self-sustaining on their own merit with income dedicated to them and can't be used for anything else. There's another item that I had discussed with Todd, but I don't think it made it in here.
Okay.
I propose an item that's not going to affect,
Oh, I know.
two items that will not affect the surplus. But I'd like to see them incorporated into the budget, because I think they're budget items. I propose that we increase court revenue by $100,000. That's line,
662.
well, yeah, it's line 17 on the summary, but it's 662, Todd?
On the detail, it's 662.
With a complementary adjustment, a general revenue contribution to the capital fund for the police department dedicated to vehicles.
So that's a transfer.
That would be transfer out to capital.
Yeah, so the general fund, it's wash, because you're getting 100,000 in the budget, assuming it materializes, and you're getting 100,000 that we're dedicating to police vehicles, which, if we're fortunate enough in future years to get capital funds to get all the vehicles we need, great, but I know there's been many years when we were scrambling to come up with $55,000 for a police vehicle. This starts a dedicated fund.
How many vehicles do we have now, new police cars?
I don't really know, but I know we haven't got any new ones in the last year, I don't believe.
I think we have.
I think we did, I think we had two.
I think we had 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, two, maybe three.
But go ahead, Mike.
I'm sorry to
No,
interrupt
go
you, but
right
I was
ahead.
just saying that, today in my conversation with the chief, is that he was saying that they still have these old Caprices, and they're extremely expensive to keep maintaining. So, I mean, it sounds like that as we get some of these new vehicles, those maintenance costs should drop considerably.
Agree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if we get enough to replace the money, the ones that are hogs on maintenance, and he mentioned to me that they can't even get parts for some of them.
Well, and that's true, and that's, I mean, I don't know how many cars are in use. I know that there was a whole bunch of them parked over by the senior center for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it seems like we have a whole lot of,
Those came from Kenner. On your proposal,
Yes, sir.
my concern would be, and I thought about this after our call earlier, and I'm sorry I didn't call you back to express it before now, but my concern would be projecting the revenue, transferring it. What I would prefer to do is to project the revenue and even project the transfer to the capital fund, but not specifically put it as an expense in the capital fund, so that if it doesn't materialize, it doesn't get spent.
No, I just want to put it in a dedicated fund, but not authorize the expenditure.
Perfect.
I'm not sure the mechanism, but that was my intent.
We would recognize it as revenue, but not
Right,
as
we
an
put it
expense.
in a line item,
Right.
but we're not authorizing the expenditure.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a council decision. And if this were to materialize annually, which I would hope it could, everything works and the city's in good stead, then over a few years, you're going to have, a buildup there. And hopefully, we can replenish the fleet, make good, smart decisions on when to buy new. If we get grants in, the money can be reallocated by the council to a greater need.
Or topped off, yeah.
But we're now, this would give us the opportunity to dedicate some money for vehicles, which we all know we're going to have to replace probably 2 or 3 a year. I mean, we would like to have 20 people assigned, 5 per shift, 5 shifts, just to patrol in the police department. That's 20 vehicles.
Do you have any information on what that $100,000 looks like in citations or offenses or
don't.
whatever? No?
I
Okay.
don't.
As far as whether it's 200 offenses or 600 offenses, we
I
don't?
don't.
Okay.
And that's something that, hopefully in the coming year, we can get and look at. But because the traffic enforcement has to increase,
well, so there's 234 this month,
right, which is a huge increase.
234 traffic.
That's over double.
Right. And so, but
Yeah.
I think
And my
that,
concern is, in the past, I mean, I think if we looked at historically,
Yeah.
all the way back to 2015, you would see an increase in citation writing in November and December,
yeah.
for whatever reason.
We,
And then it would fall off in January again.
we as a council agreed to spend $10,000
Yeah.
on a device
No,
that
I
will
agree.
hope to
Yep.
help with enforcement. I mean, these things are going to require the efforts of our police department to enforce traffic laws.
Yeah.
And I've had conversations with the chief. He's indicated that he's willing, appreciates the help we can do in that regard, and committed to doing. So
Good. Okay.
if it doesn't work, Jason, come February, March, I would be the first one to propose that we undo
The transfer?
what I've just
Yeah.
said.
Agree. Okay, great.
Because I don't mean to stick the city with the funding commitment if we don't have revenue to do it. And the
Yes.
only revenue we have for this now would be if court fees increase.
Right. Okay. I second the amendment.
Okay.
Yeah.
All in favor of the amendment?
Do
We have a motion by Councilman Buddy, second by
we have
Councilman
to open
Jason.
it up?
Just,
Yeah, let's be clear what the amendment is.
Yep. Okay.
So.
I want to
You want to
amend-
take your time and get the account number?
I've got them.
Okay.
You got them?
Yes.
Would-
So we would amend row 662, 3-119-31240, court fines revenue would increase 100,000. The transfer out on row 161, code 4-110-59341,
Which line was that?
161.
Transfer 100,000 out of 662?
We're adding
Revenue.
100,000 of revenue to the general fund from court fines and tickets.
So you're taking 100,000 out.
We're going to add 100 to ticket revenue and transfer it to the capital project fund in row 161, GL code 4-110-59341.
So Mr. Buddy's proposed amendment is to increase account number 4-119-31240 by
What page?
$100,000
What page?
on line 662,
What page?
26 of 46.
Okay,
and to increase account 4-110-59341,
6 of 46.
increase transfer out to capital fund by $100,000. That's your amendment, Mr. Buddy?
With the capital fund monies added to a line item for the police department,
No, we're
but
not.
not authority to,
I think you just recognize it as revenue into the fund, and when we
Yes.
realize it, we can expend it to the line item.
Yeah, so we would need a corresponding, so the transfers need to balance between funds. So we would need a
What would the
transfer
video-
into the general fund, which is Fund 341.
Capital fund, yeah.
Yep, capital fund, I'm
Move
sorry.
with the capital fund, you're moving 100,000, right?
Row 926, page 39 of 46.
161, right?
yeah,
Out of the court fines.
I'm sorry.
You're moving 100,000 to here, out of court fines. You're moving to here, right?
We're increasing court revenue by $100,000.
And we're gonna
And then move
transfer
it
it.
out to the capital fund.
So you,
What line item
okay,
was
you're
it
taking
on page
100,000 out of
6?
capital, move it to court fines, you increase that
No, we're projecting $100,000 more in revenue
in the court fines?
in court fines, and then we're going to take it and move it out to the capital.
So you're projecting ahead of time?
Yes.
It's
Capital.
all
So suppose you don't,
Then we would not
Just a
transfer the money.
projection. This isn't an entry, this is a projection.
Yeah, you would not transfer the money if it doesn't come in.
I mean, it's like we project we're gonna have sales tax, but we don't have the money yet.
This is for next year, so we don't know what it's going to be,
Right, it's a projection.
for anything, but also this. Yeah.
So it would increase on the budget to transfer to capital, correct?
Yes,
The transfer to capital, which is traditionally just a video poker amount,
yes, that's correct.
would increase by this $100,000.
Yes.
Right. But it would not go to a line item until we do another amendment at
Right.
some point in the future if it materializes.
No different than the video poker money.
Right, no different than because the poker money just comes in
Okay,
and it
yeah.
sits there until we
Right,
expend it. Yeah.
right.
I would second the amendment.
We have a motion by Councilman Buddy, second by Councilman Asbill, as read into record. All in favor?
Yeah.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
nay.
Got a
No.
nay.
Oh, 4 yeas, 1 nay.
Materialize all that stuff, no, nay.
Yeah. None of it may materialize, I
So
guess.
other than that,
Why, well, we gave something may not happen, so.
well, I mean, you've got millions of dollars of sales tax that we projected,
Well,
and we
that's
don't have
becoming,
any.
that's continuously, you gotta write tickets.
You got a good point.
You gotta write tickets
got
to
a
get
good
the
point.
money.
You have a
They
good
may-
point.
They may go on strike, and they might not write tickets, they may lose policemen, and the court fines may go down.
And then we don't transfer the fund.
Yeah, well,
Right.
that's why, so I voted nay. So.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. So I believe we covered the other issues, Todd, that you and I discussed. Do we have to specifically address by amendment the change to, no. There's no transfer, there's no line transfer from the general fund to the fire department. That doesn't exist. It was just the any deficit in the fire department accrued to the general fund.
Correct.
And when we budget the fire department at a break even, there is no deficit transfer.
Yeah, there is no,
burdening.
correct, no, there is no.
Right, so
no.
there is no entry necessary.
Correct.
Thank you.
Are we?
I think we're done with it.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go right ahead. I think, I was going to defer back to Councilman Asbill. I think we're done with the general fund adjustments.
I think Councilman Johnson's got some.
I hate to bring this up. God, I hate to bring this up.
What?
What is, after you did all your calculations, what is the senior center budget now?
55,000.
Because we
may
talked
ask you a
55,
question.
but I think he took away money on that, all those line items that Councilman Asbill had us remove.
He's looking at the intention's going to be.
It's still 55,000.
It's gonna be,
Figure out
so it's
how much
not gonna be
general
55,
money
but
the city's going to give them.
because
And
we're
that
not allocating
contract,
it to those
says
line
that.
items.
So
But throughout the year, we're gonna
right
spend up to
now,
55.
It says.
Sure.
Because we don't know what the
40,000 applies to. What we put in our budget does not affect that contract. We could spend 100 grand on the senior center. Doesn't affect their contract. We got to clean their contract.
That's what they're gonna do, they're gonna make it 55,000. But
Well, that's one way.
take out $5,000 in those line items.
But that's
So
cost.
that's gonna decrease that budget from 40,000 to 35,000.
The contract says they get 40 grand.
For what?
We're going to pay up to 40 grand.
And then we gotta add 15,000 for insurance.
Well, we got to amend the contract.
Oh, yeah.
We can do that. There's multiple ways to do it. We can do it with a good contract that has more clarity. And that's what I like. I like a contract where you don't have to guess. No, I didn't think it was in there. It says insurance. So you say what kind of insurance. You get more specific. You just get more specific. But that clock on. Yes, sir.
We don't want to put that number, we want to just say,
We're going to pay
we
for
will
the
cover the
insurance. The
insurance.
city will pay for the
Because
building
insurance
insurance.
is going to continue.
Positive I've gotten dumber in this
So
one.
they'll know in the pocket.
If I'm dumber,
Not
I'm
because of
dumber.
me, huh?
No, I'm just dumber.
That's how,
Exactly.
I'm just dumb, no.
But
Right.
but we can do it contractually.
But when he did, when we reduced that contract, he brought in their budget from 40,000 to 35.
And then he said it.
Why?
Mr. Johnson said it too.
All right, so the net of the changes to the senior center, so the senior center, let me get back to this, 117. The total on page 23 before we started tonight was 40,571, okay? We reduced it in total by 6,500 and change. So as of right now, it's 34,000 and change. I don't know the exact number.
That shouldn't have been done, because we promised them 40,000. But I understand what we're saying,
It's gonna
they're
have to
gonna
be
address the
readdressed.
contract, they're gonna increase when they redo the contract, it's gonna be 55,000. But right now, they have a $35,000 budget. Have you increased to 50,000, or you left at 35?
It's at
See,
35,000.
that's.
Well, that's based on the
That's-
amendments that the
that's not
council,
good. That's not good.
But it doesn't affect what we have to spend over.
But they reduced it by $5,000. We promised them $40,000. I had no problem with you removing the line items because they don't have them, but their budget should have been $40,000. And then you added the insurance, well, we're gonna handle the insurance with the contract when we adjust the contract, and they're gonna put 55 to handle the insurance, or they say the city's gonna handle the insurance.
There is the real-
Like Councilman Rick said, or Councilman Buddy said, they can write into the contract, the city will cover the insurance on the buildings. So then we're responsible, the city handles insurance, and then they'll have a $40,000 budget. Their budget's supposed to be $40,000, not 35. So I had no problem with you taking the line items out, because they don't pay them. But at the end of the year, if they don't spend the 40,000, the city gets the money back.
Right.
But they
so-
have to have the
right.
money
So
there in
at the
case
end-
they need it.
So at the end of the year, we'll adjust the budget. I mean, just like we don't want to project, right? We don't want to project expenses too. At the end of the year, we'll adjust the budget to
To
what the
save
contract says.
$5,000, $6,000, we need to give them the $40,000 for their budget.
They're going to get it because we have to contractually. They're going to get the 40,000 plus whatever the building insurance expense, it sounds like, what the council is going to do.
I'm kind of rethinking along the lines of Paul. if our intentions, if the council is going to pass a budget, if we're going to allow the mayor to amend the contract
Right.
saying we're going to pay $40,000 of expenses excluding building insurance, that the city will pay for building insurance. If we move the 15,000 into to our budget line item for the senior center, we have to have 40,000 of other budgeted money to cover
Agreed,
the other
and I-
things.
agreed,
So we
and-
need 55.
I agree, but at the end of the year, I think we will. But if you want to project where $20,000 is going to go in the line items, we can do that. And I think that's what was tried to be done with the $15,000 in miscellaneous, but I don't like miscellaneous.
You already reduced it from non-departmental. You took it out of the insurance line item, you
You're
reduced it.
talking about something different, Councilman
No,
Johnson.
you-
I'm
you-
saying,
I'm talking about
I'm
the
saying if you,
insurance.
there's $35,000 in there. If you want it to be 55, let's put 20,000 back in. We just got to find out what line items it's going in. Let's do
You
it.
just.
That's what we're here to do.
Just make the budget $40,000.
But you have to put it in a line
Increase
item.
one line item.
You have to put it in a line item.
You just let them spend it however they want?
No, put it in a line, put it in electricity. Electricity,
But
gas.
that's not going to materialize. You're not going to have $26,000 in,
Put it in something they're gonna have that's gonna be, how do you know what electricity's gonna cost? How do you know what it's gonna be?
because I,
And at the end of the year, a
because I
budget
see what,
is,
because I see what was spent last year, it was
based- What
$6,000.
he's saying is they're basing it on the 2025 usage. So they're projecting 2026.
So let's put $20,000 back in the budget, but it's got to go on a line item.
you gotta put 15,000 into the budget for insurance.
No, we're going to put $20,000 into the senior budget to bring it to 55 total.
Okay?
Yeah.
But let's figure out a line item to put it in,
Like
Councilman
15
Johnson.
into
I think,
insurance.
I think that's what we need to do.
15's already in insurance. We already did that.
You got $35,000 budget, you just said. The
And
senior center budget's
It's gotta go in a line
$35,000.
item other than
That's because it was
insurance.
40 and we took out the 23.
It was 40,
13,
it was 40, we added 15, we took away 15, we took away 2,000, we
Ty,
took
can you
away
make a
4,000.
recommendation on a place to put it in
All
other,
this.
yet,
Besides miscellaneous, please.
I don't know that
for our purposes
I don't
tonight,
operate the senior
it's
center.
more
I'm not
important
sure,
to get the right number
you
in
know,
there.
it can be any of the line items in Department 117.
Right, and
Hold on.
Councilman Asbill, I think
Hold
for
on.
our purposes tonight, it's just more important to get it in there than it is to fine tune it, because that's gonna come as a result of a fine tuned contract. But I think I think we are short if,
I agree. I'm
Yeah.
not disputing that.
no, I got
My
you.
preference-
So we just need to come up with a
My
line.
preference is if we're going to add $20,000 to a department, that it not go to miscellaneous.
Well, what if we had 5 back in for like janitorial services? No? What?
I would add 5 back into general maintenance.
General maintenance,
Yeah,
okay?
'cause
We'll
that's
put
already part
5
of their
back in the
contract.
general maintenance.
Oh, we need to get to 55 and we're at 35,
You need to
correct?
add $20,000 into the line item budget somewhere.
Yeah, we need 20
What
grand.
I'm saying is
Could
add
be one line
15,
item or 4.
add 15 for the insurance.
Well,
and
the
Add
15's
15 for
already-
the insurance.
15's already in the
5,000,
34.
general
Guys,
ground.
15 is already in the insurance.
15's already in the
What
34.
I'm saying is,
So
But it's not in their budget.
Yes,
Or we
it
need to
is.
add 20.
we just need,
Yes,
we
it
need
is.
to
He
add,
just told me the budget's 35,000.
right, we need to add 20 grand, but the 15 is in the 35.
15's already
It's a
taken.
line item. We put it in a line item.
But their budget's, they only got $20,000 then. If you get, it's in the
That's why we need to
35.
increase it to 55.
Correct.
Right.
That's why we need to
That's
increase
why
it
we
to
need to increase
55.
it. We
That's
need
what
to increase their budget by $20,000.
God bless
Hey,
America.
Well,
we gotta
I
put
sure
it-
hope I'm not a juror when you're in the courts as an attorney. You would confuse me definitely. Good God in heaven.
Sometimes
Well,
that's.
we gotta go, we gotta increase by 20,000. Right now, they got a $20,000 budget.
So
when
we
you
know
get-
where
So-
we want to put it.
Most of
It's a
it,
question of where we're gonna do. We're gonna increase it right now, I think. We're gonna make an amendment, increase it right now. We just need, he's right, we need to have a line item. It doesn't, it can't just
You can put the
go.
whole thing in general maintenance.
there's 11,000 in utilities, gas, water, electric,
Was
telephone,
that based on last year's?
last year,
The
yes.
reality is, utilities should not go up, they may go down.
So there's 7,000 in building repairs and maintenance, and there's the 15,000 in insurance.
I'd put it in building because the building's
That's it.
old.
Remember,
add-
the current contract
Put
doesn't,
$20,000 in general maintenance,
Go to building maintenance, building repair.
building maintenance.
yeah, we can fine tune this later after consulting with them and
Yeah.
coming up with a category.
That sounds good to me. Put it in general, building maintenance and repairs. They budgeted 10,000, add 20 to that.
I would,
It was-
as an
it was
accountant.
19,000
some of
in
these-
24.
Some of these agreed upon expenses to get to that contract is gonna have to be for things other than these specific line items we've named in the original
Put it-
contract.
building maintenance.
So some of it's gonna be miscellaneous. They get to charge, they get to bring a bill
I
in.
don't think it will be miscellaneous. I think
Okay.
it'll be senior events, which is a line item. I think it'll be building maintenance. I think it'll be,
So let's put five, right now, we need to increase it by 20, let's put 10 grand in senior events, right now.
I'd go with that.
And
10
and now we
in,
gotta come up with another 10,
and
Paul.
10 in building and maintenance.
10 in building maintenance.
Building and maintenance
Okay,
repairs.
that takes care of it. That gets us right
Move to
at
approve.
55,000 bucks.
That's it.
move to approve.
And
A second.
second,
Do you want to go in? Do you
Move
want
for the vote.
to lay out the line
No,
items?
call for the vote.
All right, all in favor?
Yeah.
Yay. They know
Five
the
yeas,
line
zero
item.
now
nays,
we
Madam
just
Clerk.
reduced
Yeah, the line item is 10,000, the building repairs, that's row 569, GL code 44700, and 10,000 in,
Senior
Senior
activity.
functions and
yeah,
events.
I'm trying to, senior functions and events, row 562, account 42420.
So that brings your deficit, your surplus down to about 57,000.
57,000.
Correct, that would be 57,261.
Which, considering we started this conversation at an $850,000 deficit, we've had a pretty good night.
Right.
Yeah, I would propose we move on to non-general fund items.
Okay, is everybody good with general fund items?
Yes.
We have, all right, Councilman, non-general fund items.
So the first one there is concerning the fire sales tax fund. Anticipate the fire department entering into a contract to purchase a new fire apparatus sometime next year. So rather than coming back and handling that, I'd like to go ahead and the approximate cost is, it's going to be less than 1.4, but it's 1.37 or something like that for the vehicle. That is the prepaid amount with a $200,000 discount,
Now, that's
What is this for?
a new fire apparatus.
that's that unit.
How many new fire trucks do we have?
We have one fire truck that is approximately 4 or 5 years old, another fire truck that is about a year old.
So we have two?
We have 2 new fire trucks, yes, sir.
We got one.
How many
We
fire,
got
The
one.
estimated build time on this truck is 36 to 48 months.
I get it. How many fire trucks do we have in total?
We currently have 4 in total. One is basically out of service because it was loaned by the parish way back when and doesn't really roll, but it's there as a backup in case we need it. And the other is on its way out of service. By the time we get this new truck, should be out of service.
Is the
And
service
an
time 10
emergency-
years?
That's not a firefighting truck per se, that's that miscellaneous emergency
Right, so it's
response truck.
considered a rescue squad.
Rescue squad.
This is going to be a rescue squad / pumper so that all the trucks have pumping water
I was
capability.
wondering how it got so expensive.
I do have a question.
The other, oh, go ahead.
So I know we have pricing on this, and I know it's a state contract. Should we price other manufacturers as well? I mean, I know the parish and some of the firemen stuff with certain brands. I'm asking the question.
Yeah, my answer to that is we don't micromanage the police department's budget. I wouldn't want to micromanage a fire truck build because I don't know.
Yeah, I don't drive the
They
fire
don't
truck,
have
that's
too
why I'm
many,
asking.
they don't have too many people that build fire trucks.
Probably only 2 or 3.
Ferrera's one
Well,
of
I have to
the
manage my budget.
Of course.
But it's, I just know there's a few people that build them, and I know it's
Yeah,
a timely manner.
I think it's going to be.
It's a conversation we can have.
Yeah, I think it's a conversation we can have. I think it's
Still
gonna be
$1.5
within
million.
that price range between 1.2 and $1.5 million, no matter where you go. So I'd like to allocate it so that we can get it funded for next year to enter into a contract at some point next year. There's 2 ways I'm proposing that we do this. One is to just add a new line item for a capital expense in the fire sales tax funds. That saves you from transferring from fire sales tax to capital funds, because at this point, doesn't really matter. It's just an extra transfer that we've got to do.
Let me ask you something. I don't mean to interrupt you, but.
Sure.
You know, we haven't seen the fire chief, but I think twice in my tenure here. And, you know, I've been asking to get at least some incident report on, you know, like we get the fire report, I mean, the police report. I mean, are we just being ignored with that? Is that something that we just don't?
I think that's a question for the mayor. I think at the end of the day, the fire chief works for the mayor.
Right, can we get that?
So just like we put an ordinance in place to require reports from regulatory, I think, you know, if you want to ask the mayor to make sure the fire department provides some report.
I mean, I'd like
I know
to
they
see
track
it.
the data, so it'd be the process of just generating a report.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's, I mean, I'd like to see it. How many incidents, you know, how many fires, what, you know, I mean, it's hard to gauge spending money when you don't know what you're spending it on sometimes. You know, like how many fires have we had?
Right, and they may not have had zero fires. You may have had 0 fires last year, but you still need a truck,
No, I understand
right?
that.
Because you need it for when it comes up. Like you don't, you know,
Believe me,
so you never need it.
right,
And my
exactly.
whole deal with this whole thing right
And for
here,
insurance rates.
when they tell us it's 48 months to get a truck, I mean, I think that sounds crazy to me.
Oh, it's insane to me, but, I mean, look, I don't build fire trucks, so I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? I mean, I know what it takes to get a crane truck, but, you know, like I said, I'm not,
Yeah, I
I'm
don't-
sure they're building fire trucks for every fire department in the world, but,
Yeah, there's only like 3 companies that do it.
right. So I'm sure they're backed up. You know, that's,
And there is a shortage on fire trucks.
yeah,
And that's why they backed up 4 years.
yeah.
That's why they.
But I mean, you know, like the police.
That's why they get 1.4 million for them, right?
And like the police department, you know, and the fire department, to me, it seems, you know, relative that as you get these new trucks, you know, I don't know what we're paying insurance-wise on these things, but like all these cars, you know what I mean? It seems like we should be working on reducing those insurance costs by getting rid of some of these older pieces,
Yeah.
for sure.
So I know, yeah, so I know the trucks that are sitting there, the old ladder truck, old crash vehicle, are not currently insured. We're just waiting for auction to come along.
How did we terminate the
I
insurance?
I don't know the answer to that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, you can't terminate the insurance until you get rid of the vehicle, is my understanding.
Okay, well then maybe
So-
it is insured.
But what I'm saying is, a city, in all departments, if we have stuff that's sitting,
Agreed.
we need to 86 it because we
Agreed.
need to get that insurance. I mean, insurance is not cheap. You know, if we got 6 cars sitting in a parking lot that we got for free, we still got to insure them all.
Oh,
You know what I mean? So
yeah, and I
I'm
would,
just thinking that is the biggest part of some of these.
yeah, and I would ask that we, I know the police department is busy and they've been working on putting something together, but I would actually ask that we assign somebody in the city hall to start figuring out the auction stuff so that we can maybe get it done. We're not waiting on a specific department or anybody else, it's just done.
I mean, you know, number one, it would increase their revenue.
Sure,
Because they're not going to have those expenditures. And I think that, you know, if I'm not using something in my business, it's gone. And so, you know, and for my trucks,
I agree.
you know, it's like $5,000 to $7,000 a year per truck. If we have something sitting there and we can increase the revenues, you know, $5,000 to $7,000 for each department because we're not paying the insurance, I think that's big.
I agree. So if we were to allocate this 1.4 million within the fire sales tax fund, your projected fund balance at the end of 2026, ooh, thought I had that number.
3.3 plus 500 is 3.8, less 1.4.
2.4. So you still have a
2.4.
projected fund balance at the end of next year at 2.4 for other equipment as needed and maintenance and whatnot.
What line item is the fire
Yeah, so
Fund balance.
it's on page 23.
of which?
Of the old version.
23 of 36 is what I've got.
Okay, let's see here. Yeah. Okay. So I'm reading that a little differently. I'm showing that this projection, the page 23, shows ending fund balance at the end of '25 of $3,080,000.
3.3,
3.3.
because remember, we're on column H. Column H.
The actuals came in higher than we budgeted. We had very conservatively budgeted the fire
Okay.
sales tax revenue last year.
3.3 million.
Yep.
And I'm also looking at column O. In this one, it shows a projected
Sorry.
budget line item growth of the fund of
800, right.
854. Now, we reduced that by 360,
Correct.
366.
So you still at 500,000.
Three.
So we have a half a million
Right.
to add to the 3.3 at the end of
Yes.
26.
Yes.
We'd have
That's-
3.8 million.
Right.
Okay.
And if you reduce that by 1.4 for the fire truck, you would still have
Yeah, yeah,
2.4.
yeah.
Yeah.
2.5.
So, yes.
So,
And as long as it's a competitive quote, and the truck needs to be replaced, I think it's appropriate to make the move. I don't know the age of that truck. I know the two fire trucks we bought new were,
I want to say it's 16 because by the time they get it here.
It'll be 20,
it
and
would
that's
be
the end of
20.
life, right?
Yeah, and that's the end of life. Now, you can string it along longer, obviously, but your maintenance costs are increasing and you don't have the, and the new truck will give you more operational capacity.
yeah. Is the plan, Jason, you may know this, to have the two newer trucks we have right now, the ladder, and I guess the other one's a pumper, and then this third emergency response / pumper, is that the fleet? Is
That
that
is-
the future of the fleet?
As I understand it, that is the fleet,
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. The only negative of buying this truck so close, unfortunately, is you got
Sure,
all your fleet's been replaced within a 9-year period,
right.
which puts a burden on somebody a long time in the future to make sure the money's available.
Yeah, but that sales tax is building quickly, right? So,
But, yeah, so, no, but I'm not, so how do we do this? To tell me, just not the concept of what we're trying to accomplish, but how do we do it from the mechanics?
oh, you want Todd to answer this?
Well, what I'm a little confused on,
I don't either.
what I'm a little confused on is if we put it in the capital fund, it doesn't mean we've authorized the expenditure yet. It's just now a capital fund balance.
Well, the way I put it in capital fund on this sheet is specifically to the capital expense
So
for the
the
line.
council then is authorizing the expenditure.
Correct,
Subject to the mayor executing the contract.
correct.
Okay. So
The other option is to make it cleaner and just have the expense in the fire sales tax fund, and it just stays there as an expense, rather than transfer it to capital, put it in a line item, and now you're
I think
reconciling
it's
two
got to
different.
come out of capital when we buy it.
I think it could stay in the fire sales tax. I mean, the fire department's self-sufficient.
So the fund does require expenses, the fire sales tax fund, when we wrote the ordinance to develop the fund, it requires the council to approve any expenses out of that fund. This would be an approved expense out of that fund. That's the only requirement.
So you wouldn't have to move it to capital.
And then you would have to reconcile the two different accounts to figure out what your fund balance is in the future and whatnot. That would be
Todd,
preferred.
it's workable from your perspective?
Yeah, I think either approach is fine.
Then I'm good with it, because that does sound
Cleaner.
cleaner.
I'd leave it there, and I'd ask Todd St. Cyr, as we go through with the purchase of the fire truck, I'd want to be part of that deal to negotiate the deal. I understand the prepayment to save the $400,000.
So wait, we would pay it up front, get the truck 4 years later?
That's where I'm having a problem.
I got a big problem with that.
So that's
They
why
may
I
not
need
be here in 4 years.
So-
That's a huge risk.
That's where I need to work.
So the
on
other
that
option,
contract.
yeah, the other option, and we can, and that's what we've talked about.
We did the calculations.
The other option is to finance it. It's kind of a wash, or might have been, it's
$200,000.
It's a $200,000 loss because you lose the prepaid discount that they give you to prepay.
Well, if you finance it, they're going to get their money up front.
Right, if you finance it, they're
So
going to get their money up
You
front.
shouldn't lose a prepaid discount if we.
Well, you do. You do, because you're not prepaying it, you're financing it.
It's when you finance, I mean, if it's financed through them or.
Yeah, it's financed through Pierce.
Finance.
Swirly, because normally the discount is the time value of money. And you lock in the sale.
I
just got a problem
guess my
paying
thing
4 years in
is,
advance.
if you put, and I don't know if we can do this or not, but if you put that $1.4 million in an interest-bearing account,
We worked it out. the account we're in right now is only earning 4.31, which is kind of top of where you're going to be at
Yeah,
this point.
I think you're gonna
And it's
expect
coming down,
less.
and it's coming down,
Yeah.
right? And so the interest rate and it's a wash. Yeah.
But if it's a wash,
It's
if it's a wash, what you have
$200,000
is,
wash.
you haven't paid somebody, give them the opportunity for 4 years to go bankrupt and lose your money.
Right, and
That
so-
is a real risk. I mean,
Yeah.
these
Yeah, I have a
companies are
problem
probably
with
minting money, but you trust, it's a big risk for a municipality to take.
Yeah.
Big risk to do with private money, but to do it with other people's money, that's a huge risk.
Yeah, and that's where I have a little bit of problem.
Yeah, and so we've
We'd have
talked
to
about-
negotiate
So,
that.
so I think it's fair to say that that decision can be made down the road because the council's got to
Money's there.
approve the deal. To spend, this allows the mayor to do a deal
Yes.
without council
Well, the
input.
money's there, but they're holding on $1.4 million for 4 years.
No, he's saying right now, the money's there allocated to do whatever, but the council
Well, I
needs to approve the
understand.
expenditures
Yeah,
on that account.
right now, we need to approve the expenditure of that money by virtue that there is no authorization.
And we don't need to do it
We
today.
make
We
this,
can do that
we make,
anytime.
yeah, we make this transfer.
Yeah, I'd like to get it
It's now in the mayor's discretion, and the council has no input on the purchase. It's out of our hands. I mean, other than, the power of persuasion and the involvement of Eric and Jason have been. But it's out of the council's hands.
Just like all the other contracts we
Right,
have,
if the
right?
mayor, if the mayor says, you're not involved, you're not involved, and does a transaction, and he's not our next mayor, unfortunately.
Yeah,
He's not gonna be here.
I'm just saying, I'm a little leery about a 4-year deal.
So what's the advantage of doing it now, Jason? You've got an idea. I mean, the money's
We
sitting
need
in
a
the.
truck in 5 years.
No.
Yeah,
So,
I
so,
understand
but
that
that,
part.
no, what's the advantage of moving the money or allocating it today? Because you got the votes today? There must be a
No.
reason you want to do it now
So-
instead of,
so that it's in
when
the
we get a clearer deal.
So that it's in the 26 budget, and when we're ready to move on it, we can move on it rather than waiting 2 months to propose it as an amendment
Okay.
to the budget. That's the reason.
Can we just take a look? I don't mind doing that,
Yeah,
but let's take a hard look at.
I'm a
somebody
little,
holding on to
I'm a little
$1.4 million
uncomfortable
for
doing
4
that.
years.
Hey, I had some personal issues with the way we financed the last truck, the way it had to be done at the last second. I think it could have been done better. I don't think the agreement was scrubbed. I don't know if there was any negotiation room, but that was got to be signed.
I mean, look,
And
but all we're trying to do right now is approve the budget. We're not approving a fire truck.
No, you are.
purchase.
You,
Right.
by making this proposed transfer or allocation within the fire safety fund,
Mayor can sign.
the mayor can sign a deal tomorrow. Well, 2026, 2026
Right, yeah.
proposed budget. But on January 1, the mayor can sign a transaction. The council's not involved necessarily. I know the mayor listens to us, but
Right.
doesn't have to.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem moving the money either way.
I would
I
like
do
to.
have a problem, I would ask the mayor, we need to sit down and negotiate.
If we
this
can,
contract
I'd like to get a clearer
before I
idea
give
of the
them money
deal
up front.
early in January and put it on the agenda for the January meeting. And, because I don't want to squirrel a deal, I want to move quick, but I'd like to know what the deal is. This is a lot of money.
I guess
Can we,
from the standpoint of,
Yeah.
explain one more time. So we're talking about $1.4 million. We're waiting 4 years. We have no other competitive bid, right, on these trucks?
it's a state contract, so no, there's no other bid. But, I mean, they have looked at other companies previously, not for this specific truck, but previously.
I get it, yeah.
And, one of the benefits is you have a fleet of Pierce trucks, right?
Yeah, I get it.
Makes it easier for servicing.
Sure.
Easier for warranty, easier for, firemen. They know what truck they're driving, no matter what truck they jump in.
Okay.
So
But I'd like to,
my
I'd like
preference,
to put a number to that, though. I mean, I agree that there are benefits to that. It's like having
Yeah.
a fleet of Ford trucks or a fleet of GM trucks. You don't necessarily want to mix them.
Right.
You don't want your mechanic or your operators to have to learn different
It's
equipment.
basically like the police cars, they're trying to get all the same vehicles.
Correct.
Yeah.
But I'd like to know what the cost of that decision is.
Yeah.
And I don't know that it's that, it may not be, this may be the best price.
Can we put the expenditure in, so that it's not a 2-month process when we're ready to sign the contract?
That's what I'm saying.
Can we put the expenditure in with the understanding that, can we require the contract to come by resolution so that it's a 1-month contract? Not really, I guess, huh? Because it steps on his toes, yeah. I mean, my preference is to put the expenditure in tonight, and I think the mayor will involve us in those conversations before he signs the contract.
Maybe.
You seen that smile?
Oh, that Gwent.
I don't know, you're micromanaging my budget pretty good, so.
Here
Well,
we-
this is your budget technically.
Oh, yeah.
So what's
Well,
your preference on the
You know,
1.4?
I think you move it. I say move it. Just so we're prepared, ready to go. I won't buy it without you guys. I'm not spending $1.4 million without talking to somebody. I think you move it so you're ready to go.
Yeah. So that,
Whatever the deal comes out to be, whatever you guys decide y'all want the deal to look like.
so I move that we add a line item for capital expense, fire apparatus. We don't know what that account number is because it's not created,
No.
but we'll create one.
It's in Fund 123,
Yeah, in Fund-
123.
Fund 123 as an expense,
Quiet over there.
increased to $1.4 million.
So that is the 1,000,004 on your final sheet we're looking at?
Yes, sir, on that first one.
I mean, just rationally, when we get into 2026, is this a guaranteed price on this truck, or is this something that could
So
escalate
it's
as
a
we
guarantee,
wait?
so it is a guaranteed price for 26,
26, okay.
Up to what date?
for 3 months. For 3 months of the quote, which was yesterday, because we updated the quote yesterday. We actually have a quote from December, this time of last year, that we did not present to the council because we wanted to make sure taxes were going to stay where they were, collections,
Did it rise?
minimally.
Yeah, let's see.
What's
When I say minimally, $150,000, $200,000.
I want to see what 90 something, actually.
Oh, 90-something thousand, okay.
It was less than 100,000, I think.
Well, that's not
I
minimal.
think.
Right, so.
I don't think that's
Well,
minimal, but
okay.
anyway.
So $90,000 increase over a year. That 1.4 is the 26 costs. Now, what we're not going to do is try to sign, because there is another discount in there, is try to sign it before December 31st to get another $35,000 discount. We're not going to rush into that and try to get that 35. So I calculated the full cost without the 35.
My biggest concern, my biggest negotiation is going to be the 4-year pay advance.
I got a
I'm having
real
a hard
concern
time
about
wrapping
that.
my hands around now.
I've spent some time in bankruptcy court trying to collect money, and it's the last place you want to be when somebody's
I don't have a problem moving the
filing
money.
Chapter 7.
I mean, I'm confident the mayor's going to include us before we make this deal,
Okay.
and that's where I stand, so I'll second your motion.
And so let me just say one more thing.
Okay.
So I just bought a big saw, right? And I went to an external finance company and bought the saw. And with the understanding that they would get the money when the saw was delivered. So it was kind of a, pre-approval thing. I'd just like to at least look at that,
Yeah.
explore
No, and
that.
I think we can explore that, and my whole deal is, and I've had this conversation with him a lot when we've been talking about this, it's 1.4. I don't mind giving them $200,000 to
Right.
custom order our
A
truck.
deposit, a
But
significant
guess what, when I
deposit.
see my truck in progress, then I can adjust.
As long as you have an
I feel
ownership
the same
interest
way.
in it. You got, you
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all comfortable
Pay as you go
saying,
doesn't work
we're not
unless
looking
you
to
get
give
an ownership interest.
$1.4 million to hold for 4 years, then we come pick up our truck. Because I'm a firm believer, if I give you my money to make my truck, you got my money, why are you rushing to make my truck?
You're not.
It's gonna take 5 years, it ain't gonna be 4.
Right, exactly.
Well,
You know, I wanna give them,
with that before,
I wanna give them, 200,000 and tell them, guys, if you get it finished, in 3 years, I'll hand you the rest of your money.
Let me ask you this. The last 2 trucks we purchased, have we had problems?
Deliveries, no.
On delivery times, no, delivery times have been ahead of time.
But deliveries have been like a year out.
Yes.
At least, yeah. The last delivery was, on the last truck, it was the same time, 36 to 48 months. I believe we got it in 24, 25 months.
So they have
The
been
first
delivered.
truck we bought a few years ago, that wasn't a 3 or 4 year lag.
That was a quick build. That was a quicker build.
That was like a year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I'm remembering.
Yeah, that was a quicker build.
Well,
All right, well, I'm gonna start building fire trucks tomorrow.
yeah, I was gonna say.
And get the money up front.
Yeah.
That's a motion by Councilman Asbill, second by Councilman Chatelain, as read in the record. All in favor?
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk,
Mayor,
please note the amendment.
include us in this purchase.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, the next, we're going on to the second page here, capital project funds. The next, for ease, the last two we can scratch out. That was if we were going to transfer that 1.4 to the capital fund. We're not doing that.
I'm sorry, too.
The last two,
The
997.
last two.
The last two.
Got it.
All right.
So let's talk about the two revenue items in capital fund. This is increasing senior center and grant revenue items, and those are direct costs that are coming from Treasury Department and capital outlay funds. So those are funds that we will receive in 2026.
From state.
From the state, 610,000 for recreation for the Soniat Playground playset, and $50,000 for senior center for a bathroom remodel. And I know Spike is working on getting quotes to put the budget together for that.
This is for the playground, the bathroom, or
No,
this
the
is for
Senior center.
Yeah,
center
that's-
Senior center grant.
Oh, I see it, yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
50,000.
So I move, and then senior center is 50 in and 50 out as an expense, up to, right? To spend the bathroom. Recreation capital is 610 in and 710 out.
Is that a match?
The $100,000 is a match that we have to do for the funds.
Okay.
We do have, they are close to finalizing the quote for what the play set will cost. Just the play set and the surfacing and other things related to the play set, we're at about $650. And then we'll have about $60,000 in cost in fencing related work, other upgrades to the play
Is
set
that
area.
replacing the set in the center?
Yes, sir. Next to close to the memorial,
Yeah.
yeah, it's replacing.
Does it
that
have
set.
a top like the other?
It will be shaded, yes.
It will be shaded.
So that match,
So Royland, we did not shade because we have the oak trees.
Right. That's what I was at. That's in the middle of the open field. That's what I was
Yeah, it
asking.
will be shaded, yes.
will it be similar type equipment?
That's
It'll be-
Royland,
Oh,
yes.
it's gonna
It'll be
more
upgraded.
Exclusive,
It'll-
handicap.
The intent was to have a drawing prepared for tonight. They weren't able to get it to me tonight, but as soon as I have it, and next week, I'll send it out to you.
So I think I'm following you. The 710 is the expected expenditure of the 610 offset coming in. So it's $100,000 projected city
Match, right.
match.
City match, yes.
Match.
Now, is that a percentage? Because that's about 17%, or is it just a dollar amount?
So we only have to match 300,000 of it, so it's a 25% match on the FP&C side, and then we have other funds that are coming directly from Treasury that don't have to get matched.
Okay, so it's a 25% match on a
25%
portion?
On a portion, yes.
One basically half.
Match.
But this will be more handicap accessible, everything.
Inclusive.
All inclusive.
Is it larger than the set we have now?
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot larger.
Bigger footprint.
710. So basically, this isn't affecting Harahan's money. This is grant money. You know, what is affecting it is the $100,000.
$100,000, yes.
Okay. And we all know my thoughts about
Yes.
capital projects, but I have a concept that I'm gonna ask the clerk. I've already talked to Todd about this. I may have mentioned it to other council. I'm gonna ask the clerk to put together a simple one-page document of all of our grant monies we're working with, and we'll put our capital requirement next to it, our match, and then we'll know the total amount that we've committed to. This would also go on that schedule.
I will say, Mr. Buddy, when we talked about our capital, when we've had these other discussions, this money was discussed in there.
Good.
With our last
Good.
discussions. we were-
But I'd like to get it on one piece of paper.
Yeah, I understand, but I'm just saying, when we had our discussions for the last 2.5 months, 3 months, we have included this 100,000 when we had the
Great,
discussion.
great, that's good. But as I have indicated that we may have a potential FEMA shortfall. Go ahead, you want to say something, Todd? Okay.
Go ahead.
We may have a potential FEMA shortfall. Hopefully, it's less than $1 million, much closer to zero, but we don't know that yet. And we may have a capital matching problem. And what I'd like to do is identify it, if it exists, identify the amount, and move the money from surplus, basically, to the capital fund. That way, the capital fund's balanced, and future councils don't have to worry about where they're going to come up with the money for the 2025 and 2026 council's commitments.
Yeah.
And our surplus, that's exactly what it's meant for. It's not, well, it's meant for that rainy day fund for a hurricane or something where you got to start writing checks, but it's not meant to be spent on normal operating expense. It's meant to be spent on things like this. So it'll get us to balancing the books. What Todd has told me that there will be a reckoning. The auditors will make us, at some point in time, write off or fund the FEMA fund shortfall when it's determined that we're not going to collect it. We're not there yet, but we just need to be prepared. The capital fund commitments, we already know what they are. So when we commit it, I'll ask the council to, based upon a sheet we can look at, a capital fund amount that we know we have the fund, what's available in the capital fund, resources, and come up with a movement from the general fund. Go ahead, Todd.
No, I was just going to add, Mr. Buddy, that for the council's benefit, I think we budgeted, the amounts budgeted in the capital fund, we looked at the appropriations from the state, and that's what we budgeted. So Jason, I think the 50,000, like the 50,000 in the senior center, I think it's already here, unless there's a second 50,000.
It's only 150,000 for.
It says it's Act 461, if that helps, of 2025.
Don't know, but I know we looked at a state appropriation, and,
That's what I said, it's in the original budget.
yeah, that's the, yeah, the 50,000 is for senior center. On recreation, we budgeted 210,000, maybe that's one piece of the funding, and maybe we didn't see the other piece.
Okay.
So maybe senior center, there's no,
Senior center's no increase, okay.
there's no
I got it.
change. And the
Yeah.
recreation would be,
Do you have the revenues coming in for both of those?
for which ones?
For senior center
Yeah,
or
yeah.
recreation?
Senior center, there's 50 in and
Okay.
50 out. It's on here. I can get
That's already in.
So,
Yeah, it's already in here.
so my amendment is I move to amend account 341-3-116-30240 to increase to 610,000.
Correct. It's a $400,000 increase.
$400,000 increase.
What line item was that?
That's going to be 958.
958.
You good with that? Yeah.
So you're increasing line 958 by 401,000?
Yes.
410,000.
I think it's an original, Mike. That's gonna be an original or you offering
The original one?
Yeah, the original
the original? Sorry.
sheet. Sorry.
All right, so we have a motion by Councilman Asbell to increase line 958.
Account 3413-116-30240, recreation grant revenue, increase to 610,000.
Yeah.
And we have a second by Councilman Chatelain. We'll open for public hearing. No one coming forward. We'll now close. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
And that's bringing your total to 610.
Yeah.
Correct.
It brought it up 400.
And the corresponding, expense, it's line 1008, it's account number 341-4-116-40940. Is that right? 409, 400.
We have it in 40920. I mean,
Recreation capital outlay?
Yeah, it's recreation capital outlay.
Okay, 40920. I've got an extra number on my sheet there.
Which line is that?
1008. Is that what you have?
Yes, 1008
Capital outlay?
is the line number.
Capital outlay expense. Yep.
Okay.
Increased to 710,000, which is a $500,000
Yes.
increase.
710.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilman Asbell to increase.
Second it.
Go one more time.
Oh, account 341-4-116-40920, recreation capital outlay increased to 710,000.
And we have,
Yes.
we'll open for public hearing. Anyone want to discuss? No one coming forward. We'll close public hearing. We have a second by Councilman Chatterley. All in favor?
Yeah.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Madam Clerk, please note the amendment.
Thank you, Council. That's all I've got. So senior, we don't have to do anything with, it's already there apparently.
Yes, yes, the 50,000 is on, so the expenses are in row 1011, and the revenue is a page or two ahead.
966.
Yeah, the revenue's in 966,
So we can scratch those suggestions.
On my sheet.
off of
Yes,
Jason's,
yes.
Councilman Asbell's sheet, yes.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. And what do you think the timing is on the playground? Moving on the playground, we got to get the money, the remainder of it.
Yeah, so we're waiting on the money, the remainder of the money, which I think we'll be close to by the beginning of the year, I think in March or April, for a build. Yeah,
So now we're going to vote on the proposed
Is
ordinance
there-
as amended, right?
Is it a 48-month bill?
it's not 48 months.
All right, so we have a,
It's
we're
a
going to
16-week lead time on the.
open for public hearing because we've amended so much on proposed ordinance number 2025-18. Do anyone want to speak for or against? No one coming forward. We'll close public hearing. Now we're going to vote on proposed ordinance number 2025-18 as amended.
In column, what column?
Z.
Column Z.
Column Z, for the record.
Okay, give me the new budget total. Make sure I have my numbers correct.
So we want line 36, if we can get that, Christian.
I've got the 10,026,877.
I got 10,024,664. So I got something wrong somewhere.
Well, Todd's going to give us a clean copy of this.
Yeah, we'll
Well,
have
I'm
a
getting ready
clean
to vote on
copy
something. I want
next
to make
week.
sure I got the
So
right
your
number.
$2,000 difference?
Yeah.
Okay.
Give us a minute.
Me either.
I mean, just, can you give me the changes we made? Just give me, maybe I put something, I would think you guys are probably right. You're the accountants. I'm not an accountant.
No, that's okay,
You know, I
Councilman.
just want to make sure I got the right numbers.
So what was the right number? 10,026?
I've got 10,026,877.
877. All right, I'm good with that.
I just want to get the ones we changed, I want to get the number you got.
I was missing the transfer. I didn't write it down because it nets to zero. But the 100,000 of court fines and the transfer out of 100,000, so it's 10,126,877, because we added the 100,000
Oh, you're right.
for the transfer to capital when we increased the court fines.
Okay. 10,126,877.
So it's
Yeah.
went up.
Yes, sir.
So that makes us have a deficit.
No.
No, it's still a
No, 'cause there's a-
57,000-ish.
But you add 100,000 to the top number?
Yes, we added
So
100,000
the
to
top number's
court fines.
10,181.
What's the number at the top?
10.1,
10,181?
off by 3,000, not 10,184.
10,180, well, they got here 10,081, 10,081,925. You add 100,000 to it?
What's your number? 10,184 what?
138.
138.
Well, how does this paper have that you just handed to me?
We just made amendments.
Yeah, we just
Well,
made
you amended
amendments all night.
$100,000.
No, we amended We
Any other
amended a bunch of
changes in
stuff.
revenue other than the 100? So how's it not
No,
10?
we made a small change to revenue of
Oh.
1380 or something like
Yeah.
that, right?
How much? 1380?
1380.
1398.
Yeah.
Well, that was
That's right.
20.
Is that what you're off?
Right.
Okay.
But I'm still off, it's still off on the bottom, but that's
That was
okay.
25.
He's the CPA, he's the man.
That's right, we'll just go with his
We'll go
number.
with his number.
So that gives us, yeah.
Trust in the top.
And we'll have this early next week. We can send it out to.
Okay.
So give me the
Revenues-
surplus,
revenues
your
of-
surplus, your total final number.
57,261.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I have.
That's what I got right. Okay. I would move to approve the 2026 budget as stated in column Z, including all the amendments we made this evening.
And we have a
Second.
second by Councilman Buddy. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
Nay.
5 yeas, 1 nay. Madam Clerk, please note for the record. Ordinance passes. Madam Clerk, ordinance
Okay.
for introduction.
Moving on, ordinances for introduction. The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Buddy. Proposed ordinance number 2025-21. We're probably going to have to change this because it's an ordinance amending ordinance number 2018, which is the annual budget of revenues and expenditures for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2025 for the Capital Project Fund of the City of Harahan, Louisiana for a speed trailer. The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Asbill. Proposed ordinance number 2025-22. An ordinance amending Chapter 34 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Harahan, Louisiana relating to fire prevention and protection to add a new Article 3, Section 34 through 17, Section 3417 through 3422, establishing a non-emergency lift assist service fee for private residential care facilities and providing for billing, enforcement, and business license renewal. The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Asbill. Proposed ordinance number 2025-23, an ordinance to amend Chapter 14, Buildings of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Harahan, Louisiana by adding Section 14-167 entitled Temporary Storage Containers to regulate the placement and duration of temporary storage containers on private property and to provide for definitions, restrictions, enforcements, and related matters. The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Asbill. Proposed ordinance number 2025-24, an ordinance amending Section 46-2 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Harahan relating to garage, rummage, yard, craft, and boutique sales and providing for permit fees and related matters. We have no old business. New business number 1 would be Todd Turnion, Finance Director, Monthly Financials. Move to.
Okay.
New business number 2, Faith Lutheran Schools Chili Cook-Off Committee respectfully requests permission to sell beer at our 2026 Chili Cook-Off. This event will be held on Saturday, January 17th, 2026, from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. in our activity center/gym. All proceeds will be used for improvements made to our buildings and property. We would like the mayor and the city and the Harahan council members to consider attending and being judges at our event. Sincerely, Judy Cantrell.
Okay, we, of course, contingent on police requirement. We have a motion to approve by Councilman Chatelain, second by Councilman Buddy. All in favor?
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
Okay, address the council.
Anyone like to address the council? Come on. It's okay. Come on.
Carol Barker, LaGreca, 101 West Imperial Drive. Are we talking about all of these ordinances? Okay. Anything I want, okay. Proposed on the budget for speed trailer. What is the cost of this speed trailer? And where is it going to be located and what is it function?
$10,000 and it's mobile. So it's movable. It's on wheels as opposed to.
And how
a
big
fixed
is it, and will this be obstructing traffic? Our streets are relatively narrow enough.
No, the police department's not going to obstruct traffic. I mean, unfortunately,
We have some already.
well,
Well, that is just one of those speed things.
Yeah, it's on
it's just,
Colonial, there's one on Colonial right now.
And there's two on Riverside.
On the Riverside.
They're not portable.
The one
Okay.
on Colonial is.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
okay, so
Well, that
much
was it.
for
I think
serve and
that's the one we
protect. We
bought.
spend more money on, you know,
Well, the
there's
reason-
just nicer ways to deter people from speeding and
Well,
I mean, I think that, no, nicer ways.
No, there really is. I mean,
Well, it's just awful looking. But anyway, I'm just asking, I wanted to know how much, because you're proposing that we're gonna get $100,000 more in tickets and fines, et cetera, next year, and we're spending another $10,000. And I didn't know whether these other devices are movable or not, but I just
this
think,
device does more than the other fixed devices.
what did they do?
it records
Gives you a history.
violations on license plates.
Time and speed.
Time and speed.
I don't know if it.
No license plate.
No license plate.
Time.
All it does is record time and speed.
Okay.
And
Well,
it will help.
I will
ahead.
just say this, that it's on Colonial on.
I've seen it. I've seen it
Okay, so-
driven.
And it has deterred
Speeders.
So, when it's not there, they do 50. When it is there, they're doing 20, 25.
Just asking, because I just, I want to know.
It's more of a public
Okay.
safety thing than anything else, I believe, Carol.
No, and I get it, but I just want to know the obstruction, how big, et cetera, cost. I'm just
We're buying a
asking
used one that
questions.
the city had on loan.
Yeah.
And we're at a pretty big discount.
Mm-hmm.
So we're buying, it was new, I think, when they loaned it to the city, I believe.
Right, because I had mentioned several times in previous council meetings about grant money for those, like traffic and speed bumps, and they're not obtrusive. They're better than the ones that are even in the parking lots in Elmwood, but you have to apply for the grant money. It does cost money, and I think I had even mentioned that especially on Riverside Drive, that if those were put in specific areas, made into actual crosswalks, that families, children could cross to go up to the levee safely, and it would be a benefit. And I'd like to see more money spent on those types of things. And I do understand.
I believe that's a state highway,
It's
at
parish.
Riverside Drive.
Riverside. I think
It's parish.
The parish.
Up to Jefferson Heights, then it becomes state, all the way to New Orleans.
Right.
I'll
Well,
make a motion to extend her time 2 minutes.
Second,
and thank,
yay.
it's just questions, because I'd like to know, and I think pretty much everybody in the city would like to know. And with the proposed ordinance for temporary storage containers, I understand, the regulations and that, but a lot of us are still reeling from Ida, and a lot of people haven't gotten insurance money, so I think that needs to be taken into consideration. Although some of these storage buildings are awful looking. But what I do want to say, though, is the city of Harahan, and I've said this many times before, we don't enforce the codes that we already have. I mention all the time about on Hickory, that there are trailers, there are boats, things like that are parked on these properties that aren't supposed to be there. I think on my property, I enforce the city of Harahan's codes more than the city of Harahan does. And I don't know if it's a public relations issue or something like that, but landlords, people that own these properties, could be out there regulating. I do not allow anybody to have a trailer or to have a boat or any of those types of vehicle. When I rent them a property, it is excluded to be allowed to be on those, that parking area. And it just makes it difficult when all of these vehicles are parked there. People can't get in and out. And my last thing is 1604 Hickory Avenue. The building has been built, the warehouse. There is still the same square footage that was proposed originally, and it only has 5 parking spots. And according to code, there's supposed to be 13 parking spots. And I don't know, how is he supposed to get a certificate of occupancy when he can't comply? So the council basically approved this building to be built, but doesn't meet code. So I think somebody needs to address that. That's all I have to say today.
Thank you. Okay, anyone else coming? I will now close address to council. Madam Clerk?
Secretary's report for November 2025, total revenues $525,527.08. Reports.
Chief LaPree had to step out, so he asked me to read his report. This is the police stats for the month of November. Calls for service, 675. Accidents reported, 8. Citations issued, 142. Patrol requests received were 12. Patrol requests for residents and check services, 132. Business checks, 1,526. Traffic enforcement, 234. Medical calls, 82. Security alarms, 39. Arrests, 24. Charges were 38 charges, 4 felonies, 16 misdemeanors, 18 city. Charge types: fugitive, traffic, narcotics, and other. Personal and property crimes, 2 rapes, 12 assaults, 1 vehicle burglary, 1 motor vehicle theft, 4 theft, 3 identity theft, 1 bank fraud, 1 computer fraud, 1 extortion, and 1 unauthorized use of a military vehicle. He abbreviated that one on me, so trying to trick me up. Chief wishes everybody a very happy Christmas and a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. He had to step out. Madam Clerk?
Okay, we're still on reports.
Chief St. Cyr, out. Councilman Asbill.
I would just like to thank the council and say that I think you guys did a tremendous job tonight in getting these 2 budgets adopted, and we made it as easy as we could. I know it was confusing at times, but I think we did a good job in balancing the budget based on the requests that we had from different departments. I know that's always difficult sometimes, that we can't fully fund departments, but at the end of the day, we can only spend the money that we anticipate we're going to get in. So thank you and great job. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. Happy New Year.
Councilman Buddy.
I'd like to repeat that I think all the participants that I spoke to regarding the budget matters did an admirable job. And where there was disagreement, it was civil and it was professional. And at the end of the day, we've got a balanced budget, and we did it with probably less public meetings than we have in past years. So we actually did it more efficiently. And happy holidays, and please be safe.
Councilman Chatelain?
Yeah, guys, as y'all know, the budget's a tough one. Some departments don't get everything they want. It's their job to make every request they need. If they're not requesting it, they're not doing their job. They request what they need, the council sits up here, we adjust, and we hand it out how we feel fit, the best we can to accommodate everybody, which is the best needs for the city of Harahan. Some people get upset over it, some people get happy, but we'll move forward. I believe everybody's got their best interest to help Harahan move forward. I do have a comment I'd like to make. Of course, we have the Royland playset, and it's phenomenal. We drive past kids, parents, everybody's out there. Everybody's upset the bathrooms are locked. We tried to unlock the bathrooms. We unlocked the bathrooms. 4 hours later, you go back, and the bathrooms are destroyed. So the good suffer for the bad. That's why we keep the bathrooms locked. And when we try to unlock bathrooms at Sony at Playground, you leave them open 24 hours, the bathrooms are lit on fire. Somebody goes in there and lights the fires. Like I said, the good suffers for the bad.
See something, say something.
And we just need help from the citizens. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I did some bad stuff as a kid. I never damaged property. If I damaged that property, my dad would have beat me upside my head from one end to the other. I'd have been there cleaning it, fixing it, paying for it, everything else. I need the parents to step up and watch their kids, help control their kids. I'm not one to want to go out there and tell you kids to stop doing it, but I'll do it. I'm the bad guy all the time. I mean, I'm telling you right now, they got more 16, 17-year-old kids hate me than probably hate anybody else around here. But when I see them doing something stupid, I'm going to correct them. And some parents don't like that, you know? I mean, if you don't like me correcting your kids, correct them. I don't want to correct your kids. I got a hard time correcting my own. So, like I said, I mean, I want to leave them bathrooms open more than anyone else wants us to leave the bathrooms open. But the problem is, they get destroyed and we can't keep fixing and repairing bathrooms. I mean, it's uncalled for. So I'm going to ask that after the first of the year, we're going to try to leave these bathrooms open again. But I'm going to tell you right now, as soon as the first time they destroyed, I'm going to make a request to lock them up. And that's where I stand. I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. Hope everybody get a grip of this. Happy New Year's. I look forward to serving y'all next year. I think it's going to be a great year. We got a lot of good things going to happen, you know, new play sets. I think council's been working great together. Like I said, we agree to disagree on some things, but other than that, we moving forward in a positive way. Thank you.
Councilman Johnson?
Well, just a few brief words. I want to end the year in a positive note. I don't want to be negative. I voted against the budget. I have my reasons. I have a few things I didn't like what was done tonight, and I don't like certain things going on in the city. So that's why I voted against the budget. So I'm not going to elaborate on it tonight, but I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I'm going to end this year with a positive note. Happy New Year, and God bless America. Thank you.
Councilman Riggs?
I would just like to say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, and I would also like to say that I also appreciate everybody's work getting this budget balanced. And like you said, it's not everybody's cup of tea, but you know, I think it went very well. So have a great end of the year. Enjoy it. Enjoy your families, and happy holidays.
Okay. It's been a real pleasure being your mayor for the past 7 years. It's been an incredible ride. I've truly enjoyed it. I work very close hand in hand with both chiefs and fire and police, and I know they both feel the same way as I do. They truly love the city, engage, and really give as much as they possibly can to the city. It's a journey sometimes. It's hard work sometimes, but I know all three of us for sure want to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year. And again, I want to congratulate David Corsell one more time, because he is an incredible human being and truly deserves this position. And wow, what a feeling it is for Harahan to rise, to have someone of our own to rise to that stature. So, we love you, Dave. You're the man. And again, happy holidays to everyone.
May I let this special privilege, because I text David, because everybody here has his phone number. I text him on his cell phone. I'd like to congratulate him, too. David was my city attorney when I was mayor of the city, and he was Vinnie Moscas. He was city attorney for Harahan for many years. And he did a great job for us. And I was honored to be questioned by the federal government when he was, you know, they came, they talked to people and they wanted to get interviews. And the lady came and talked to me, and I was very honored to give good recommendation on David because he's a fine gentleman, and I'm so happy that he got this position. And I know he'll do a great job. Thank you.
All right, pay bills. Bills paid in November 2025. Total expenditures, $333,709.92. No executive session. Adjourn.
A motion by adjourned by Councilman Chatelain, second by Councilman Asbill. All in favor?
Yay.
What?
We are adjourned.